Working fine. Check, check, check. Okay, good evening, everyone. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Can you confirm on the chat? Are we live? Is it audible? All good? Okay. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to NEET 2026 live paper discussion. Uh, just a few days ago, we had completed our KCET 2026 live discussion. We are back again within a few weeks or a span of, I think, 10 days to discuss our NEET 2026 paper. Overall, what the plan is with me, Suresh Babu sir, who is the head of the Department of Chemistry, Miss Savita, who is the head of the Department of Biology.
Good evening all.
Good evening.
And myself, Mithil Rajai, who is head of the Department of Physics as well as head of academics here. So we're just going to give you an overview of the whole paper, what kind of questions came from what kind of topics, and based on that we'll try to also give them an idea or ballpark number of what could be a good score or what could be their topper score across India, and could they or could they not score 720 on 720 or 700 on 720. So with that, before we start, let us quickly just go through one thing. This is the brief introduction of our HODs. Before we head forward, kindly follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube as well, and on our own website, RV Learning Hub. So let us start with the biology overview, madam. Would you like to start something?
Yes, sir. So let me just say that today's paper turned out to be a great reward to all the students who had stuck on to NCERT syllabus, because all the questions were very much good enough for all the students to attempt. And what I observed was there was no assertion reason based question at all. And match the following topped the number of questions. It was around 19 in number. And I could say that it will be a complete time saving session so that the students can concentrate on physics and chemistry. And around I think 46 questions turned out to be from second PUC and 44 from the first year. So overall a very good paper, but also talking about diagram based question, which we told the students keep going through the diagrams, that's very important for you, and this paper turned out to be having no diagrams at all. So it was a surprise, but it's a great reward to those who studied NCERT, sir, completely. So that's what is the highlight of biology.
Was there any kind of surprise, like out of the box question or out of syllabus question?
No, sir.
Any kind of arguments that the question should not have been asked in NEET?
Nothing as such. The paper was quite good.
Okay.
And there were certain sequence-based questions. Maybe for that particular time taken, would have engaged the student for a long period of time. Not much though. But the paper was quite good.
Okay, okay. So with that, let us help madam into analyzing the paper a little bit better. You click there. Yes, that's fine.
Okay, now you can just look into the topics from which all the questions have been put up on the screen. So this is from the first PUC part. And if you check first PUC, we can give more importance to the topic of the cell, followed with respect to plant and human physiology takes the topmost position when we just do an analysis of overall question coming from plant and human physiology, followed with the topic which is called as the cell cycle and biomolecules too. And in the next slide, this is highlighting all the physiology part of human physiology. So you can just have the number of questions which has been highlighted, followed with our second PUC. Kindly observe the topic which is principles of inheritance, molecular basis and evolution. So these three chapters actually highlighted the second PUC version, followed with the topic which is called as biotechnology and applications, because you have around 8 questions coming from this particular topic, and followed with that ecosystem ecology. Ecology also takes up a good number of questions because we have 8 questions coming up. So based on paper, the equality was made for first year as well as the second year. It was a good paper, sir.
If I had to ask, in a span of 1 hour, could our students or could any student score 90 on 90 questions in biology?
Yes.
So the toppers across India would be expected
More.
to score 90
Yes.
on 90. That
Yes,
is
yes.
all the marks of biology 360 on 360.
That's what I told. It's a complete reward to the students who had stuck on to the NCRT, because the paper is designed in that manner.
Everything has come from NCRT.
Yes,
That
sir.
is the opinion of our HOD.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Shall we move on to the next?
Yes, sir.
We have chemistry. Sir?
Hi, good evening to all of you. So this time chemistry paper was very easy as compared to last year. Last year, there are a few questions very harder. Now this year, I think I can say that all questions can be answered by all students. Any kind of students can answer if they look into the properly NCRT along with a little bit application type. If they know, I think this paper is going to be hot cake for everyone. Okay, and I could say that, like biology madam said, I think someone like we were having NCRT exposure properly, they would have answered 360 out of 360. Similarly, in chemistry also, everyone could answer all type of questions in this paper. It was very easy as compared to last year, and we used to tell in the class also, saying last year paper was very tough, may come this year also may come as a tough paper, but now whoever is prepared with a high level bit application type of questions also, student would have answered all questions with full positive mindset. Okay,
Nice,
so next if I go through the chemistry paper review. So overall, second PU they have asked 26 question, and first PU they have asked 19 question. So if I look at the overall analysis, especially organic chemistry, when it comes to organic chemistry, they used to ask in the second year. Most of the cases, if I look into the last few years, now this time organic chemistry first year, most of the question they asked, especially organic chemistry, some basic principle and techniques. Generally, they used to ask only 1 or 2 questions, but this time they have asked 3. And also this is linked with the practical chemistry as well. They have asked 2 questions from that. So overall I can say that organic chemistry they have asked 14 questions, and when it comes to physical chemistry they have asked 16 questions. Inorganic chemistry there are 15 questions. So overall 45 questions. So overall paper looks very easy to moderate. I don't see any hard question. We have taken, there are 2 hard questions. Why we have taken for the entire, out of 45 question, the 2 questions are a bit lengthy. That's why we have taken. Otherwise, student easily can able to answer if there is a sufficient time for those 2 questions also. But overall, I'm very happy. I think our students also would have done very well. And I think, it depends upon the physics review. I think 720 by, if there is a physics paper is easy, maybe 720 out of 720 also possible. Okay. So this is about chemistry, sir. I think our students would have scored very well in the chemistry and biology right now.
That's really good to know, sir. Yeah. Really good to know. Hoping that the 2 years of hard work that our students have done across the country would actually result into some good seats and good score. Yeah. So with that, let me get you to the physics overview of the paper. I would say physics paper of this year has been on the moderate side. Not, I would say, easy, but it was very much moderate. And the only reason I would say was because the questions were very lengthy. The calculations I felt were so much that the students doing it without a calculator would have struggled a little bit. But the concept wise, whenever it comes to application, a student who has prepared well would be able to solve all the questions. At least starting the question would not be that tough.
Okay. So I think they would have saved time in answering biology and chemistry. They would have spent on the physics, whatever there are some hard level questions.
That is a very good point. I actually reminds me of one thing. There were many paper codes that we were solving, and when we were solving, our own team was solving the paper after paper completion. We thought of the same thing, that if biology and chemistry has been turned out easier,
exactly.
then I'm sure that physics would have gotten more time. Only thing that the paper setter has done is first 10 questions of physics in the paper code which we were solving were the lengthiest.
Oh, okay. But sir, students always worrying about physics. So now they had a little bit time on biology and chemistry.
Yes.
They would have done very well. I think.
Really
So.
hope that.
Yeah.
If the students who would have started with physics and they had spent maybe 30 minutes on the first 10 questions,
Yeah.
they would be the ones who would be dejected to further continue physics. But if the students would have saved time,
Yeah.
biology and chemistry,
Qualitative chemistry.
that would have been much better.
Very true.
And biology madam also now, my head also very happy now because physics and chemistry they
Yes,
give
sir,
bit
because
easy,
usually what
and we
happens-
see good scores this time.
Yes.
Usually
Proper
what
scores.
happens, the students lose marks in assertion reason based
Yeah.
questions. And we had trained them so much and we were surprised to see no such questions at
Even
all.
I didn't find any assertion.
Yeah, exactly, sir. In
questions.
chemistry also, I
Yeah.
don't find assertion reason. Even
Yes.
statement one
I
and
think
two,
then this set of
statement
students are
questions
very
also they have
Yeah.
not given
to
this
go
time.
ahead with
Yes,
such a good
yes,
paper
yes,
without
yes.
assertion and reason.
It is very true. Let me take you to the physics overview of the paper as well.
Yes, sir.
So the chapter wise weightage, if you see, overall almost all chapters had equal weightage, with obvious exception that current electricity had the highest number of questions, that was 4, which was very much expected. If you take any paper, whether it is JEE main, whether it is advanced, whether it is KCET, whether it is NEET, it has always been, this chapter has always had the highest weightage.
Even recent case set also same thing.
Same thing.
Same
It
thing.
has always
Highest
been. This
weightage
is the
is
favorite
always
chapter.
Favorite chapter.
current to electricity. Okay.
Yes, and the reason for that is very obvious. It's a very large chapter with so many experiments as well.
Okay.
That's the reason.
So that is very.
Is
much
there any
obvious.
out of the box question, sir?
No, this
This
time,
time.
luckily for all our students, there was no out of the box question. Unlike last year, which had one very much difficult question of, I would say, advanced or JEE advanced level
Okay.
or research level. But this year, all the questions were very much doable. Only thing is, they would have required some patience to sit and
To solve
the
few questions. Is there any contradictory questions?
There was no contradictory questions.
Anything.
We could actually come up.
Come up, okay.
Everything was well within the syllabus. Nothing was out of the syllabus.
Yeah, that's
To
nice.
know, sir.
Yeah. So with that, let us hand over the paper discussion to our teams. We would be going and starting with our discussion of questions from biology. And for that, I would request our Shanaz madam, who is a senior lecturer in biology at RV Learning Hub, to come and start the paper discussion for NEET 2026. I hope all your preparation for the last 2 years have been fundamentally very good, and it would turn into very beautiful results. I wish you all the best, and stick to this channel. Watch the whole video, watch every question, try to understand, and I would say you can also put your doubts on the comments. We would be very happy to actually address any kinds of doubts.
So
and
are
solve
we
the questions.
uploading answer key, sir, in the drive?
Yes, we
Are
will
we?
definitely be trying to do that. But till then, all of you kindly be active and let us have a very fruitful discussion of this paper. All the best to you. Have a nice Sunday, rest of the Sunday. You have worked hard, and continue watching the video.
I think today is the day NEET students are going to sleep
Yes.
peacefully
Completely
today.
relaxed.
Peacefully.
After
2 years
of
hard work.
Yes,
So
yes,
they are
definitely.
going to sleep peacefully.
So all the best for
And
your results,
all the
too.
best for your result. And
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
thank you.
everyone.
Thank you,
you
everyone.
all.
Let's continue with Shanaz ma'am. Ma'am, please.
Please come.
Good evening everyone. I am Shanaz, Senior Lecturer in the Department of Biology, RVLH. So I'll be discussing the first 15 MCQs from the biology paper. So first question we have from the chapter Biodiversity and Conservation. The evil quartet of biodiversity loss includes which of the following? So we know that there are 4 causes for the biodiversity loss, and those are habitat loss and fragmentation, overexploitation, alien species invasion and co-extinction. So the answer is option 2. So we have our next question. This is from the chapter Cell. Which one of the following is the site for active ribosomal RNA synthesis? So ribosomal RNA, that is rRNA. So this is synthesized in the nucleolus. So the answer is option 1. Now we have a match the following type of a question. Again, this is from the chapter Cell Cycle and Cell Division. So here A is G1 phase. So we know that during the G1 phase, the cell is metabolically active and continuously grows but does not replicate its DNA. So A is 2. So here it's very easy to choose the answer from this because we have only one option here which has A as 2. So we can directly mark the answer as option 1. So again the next question is a match the following type, and again this is from the chapter Ecosystem. So here A says productivity, and we know that productivity is nothing but the rate of biomass production. So A is 3. So when we look at the options, 2 options have A as 3. So let us look at option B, net primary productivity. So we know that NPP is equal to gross primary productivity minus respiration losses. So NPP will be, NPP here is B is 1. So 2 options again have B as 1. So 2 and 3. Now let us look at C, gross primary productivity. So gross primary productivity is nothing but the rate of production of organic matter during photosynthesis by plants. So here C is 4. So from the option C, we can come to a conclusion that option 2 is the correct answer. So here we had to read the options a little more. Again, the next question is from the chapter Biodiversity and Conservation. So which of the following statements are correct? So we have to choose the correct option here. The Amazon rainforest being cut and cleared for the cultivation of soya beans is an example of habitat loss. So this is true. This is one of the reasons for biodiversity loss, habitat loss and fragmentation. So this is an example for that. Stella's sea cow and passenger pigeon became extinct due to the overexploitation by humans. This is also true. This is an example for the cause of biodiversity loss, that is overexploitation. The Nile perch introduced into Lake Victoria in East Africa helped in the population growth of cichlid fish. So this is actually wrong. It did not help in the growth, but it led to extinction. So this option is wrong. Water hyacinth is an invasive species. So this is correct again. When a species becomes extinct, the plant and animal species associated with it are not affected. So this is wrong because we know that whenever a species becomes extinct, the organism that is dependent on that species also becomes extinct, and this is an example for co-extinction. So this is incorrect. Now the question asks us to choose the correct options. So here A, B and D are correct. So we will go with the answer as option 2. Next, we have identify the correct statement. So this is also again a correct and incorrect type of a statement question. So here this chapter is from biomolecules. So lipids are generally water soluble. This is incorrect because we know that lipids are generally water insoluble. Proteins are polypeptides. This is true. Polysaccharides are long chains of sugars. This is also true. Here we have to choose the correct statements. Adenine and guanine are substituted pyrimidines. This is incorrect because we know that adenine and guanine are purines. Almost all enzymes are proteins. This is true because almost all enzymes are proteins except for ribozymes. So this option also is correct. So when we have to choose the correct answer, so we will choose the statements B, C and E as correct. So here B, C and E. So option 2 is the answer. So next we have a question from the chapter photosynthesis in higher plants. So here, how many ATP and NADPH molecules are required to make one molecule of glucose through the Calvin pathway? We know that one Calvin cycle requires 3 ATP and 2 NADPH. So here for one Calvin cycle we require 3 ATP and 2 NADPH. So here if we have to form one glucose molecule, then we require 6 Calvin cycles. So we have to multiply the number of ATP and NADPH by 6. So we will get the answer as 18 ATP and 12 NADPH. So the answer is option 1. Next we have a question. Again, this is also correct and incorrect type of question. Which of the following statements are not true regarding the restriction endonucleases? This question again is from the chapter biotechnology principles. They are called molecular scissors. This is true. These are the enzymes responsible for restricting the growth of bacteriophages in E. coli. This is also true because that's why they are called as restriction enzymes. They cut the DNA only at the center of the palindromic sites. This is incorrect because we know very well that the restriction endonucleases cut the DNA a little away from the center. So this is incorrect. They remove nucleotides only from the ends of the DNA fragments. This is incorrect because we know that it is exonucleases which does this and not the endonucleases. So this is incorrect. They recognize specific palindromic base pair sequences. This is true. So we have to choose the answer from the options given below and we have to choose incorrect answer here. So we have to choose the incorrect statements. So incorrect statements are C and D, hence the option is 3. Next, again we have a match the following type of a question. Here this is from the chapter ecosystem. Decomposition, we know that decomposition is breaking down of complex organic matter into inorganic substances. So A will be 3. So two options have A as 3. Detritus is nothing but the dead remains of plants and animals including fecal matter. So detritus is B is 4. So from these two options between 3 and 4 we have 3 as B having 4. So we will choose the answer as 3. So we can directly choose the answer. Next question we have, in which one of the following the ovules are not enclosed by an ovary wall and remain exposed? So this chapter, this question is from the chapter plant kingdom. So here we know that gymnosperms have naked ovules. So which one of the following is a gymnosperm here? So it is Pinus. Option 3 is the answer. So again we have a match the type. So if you can see there are too many match the following type of questions here. So marginal placentation, this is about placentation. So this question is from the chapter morphology of flowering plants. So marginal placentation, it's very easy, we can remember easily, it is in P. So only one option here has A as 2. So the answer is option 3. So it's again a very easy question because only one option has A as 2. So you can take the answer as option 3. In angiosperms, root hairs arise from which one of the following regions of the root? So we know that in the root we have 3 regions. Region of meristematic activity, then we have region of elongation, and we have region of maturation. So it is from the region of maturation that the root hair arise. So here the answer is region of maturation, option 4. Next question, which one of the following is not a characteristic of plant cells in the phase of elongation? So this question is actually from the chapter plant growth and development. It seems like it is from morphology, but it is actually from the chapter plant growth and development. So here, which is not a characteristic of plant cells which are in the phase of elongation? So here the answer is large conspicuous nuclei, because we know that whichever cell is actively dividing will have a large and conspicuous nucleus. So which is not a characteristic of an elongated cell. So we will choose the answer as option 2. Next up, we have a question from the chapter Molecular Basis of Inheritance. So which of the following statements are correct with reference to a transcription unit? Now when we draw the transcription unit, we have promoter, structural gene and terminator. So you have 5' end, then this is the 3' end. This is the template strand and this will be the coding strand. So if I take this as a template strand, then this should be the 3' end and 5' end. And if I take this as the opposite strand, which is the coding strand, then this is the 5' end and 3' end, because all the references are made with respect to the coding strand. So promoter is found at the 5' end of the coding strand and terminator is found at the 3' end of the coding strand. So let us now see the statements related to this concept. A transcription unit in DNA is defined primarily by 3 regions: promoter, structural gene and terminator. So this is true. The promoter is said to be located towards the 5' end of the structural gene. This is also true. The promoter is a DNA sequence that provides binding site for the RNA polymerase. That is true because it is to the promoter that the RNA polymerase binds and initiates the process of transcription. So this is also true. The promoter defines the template and coding strands. This is also true because as we saw here, promoter is located upstream of the structural gene and terminator is located downstream of the structural gene. The terminator is located towards the 3' end of the coding strand and it defines the end of the process of transcription. From the diagram it is clear that this statement is also true. So all the statements are true here. So we have to choose the correct answer. So we will go with option 1 as the answer. A, B, C, D and E all are correct. So next up we have a question from the chapter Biomolecules. Alpha helix is found in which level of protein structure? So it is a very direct question and the answer here is secondary structure of proteins. So alpha helix and beta sheets are basically the secondary structures of proteins. So we will choose the answer as option 4. Thank you for your patient listening. Now I hand over the session to our next faculty.
Hello everyone, good evening to all. Myself Eddala Suresh, so chemistry associate head, and now I am going to discuss about the first 15 questions of the NEET exam which happened now. So first question, when we look at this very well known question, we can say that cumene to phenol oxidation, cumene hydroperoxide also we heard. So this is isopropyl benzene is called as cumene to phenol. So how it will happen? Aerial oxidation, we seen that, right? Aerial oxidation followed by hydrolysis will get phenol plus acetone, So that is A2. Then we can say that this acetic acid, how can we reduce to ethanol? So there are 2 ways, directly we can convert or stepwise also we can convert. Based on the option wise we have to see here. Then if you look at this, first this acetic acid will be converted into ester, esters further reduced to alcohols. So here to here we can say. Then after from these 2 options, because time is matter for us, right? From 2 options we can able to do it or not. When we are checking first A to 2 and B to 3, there is only one option, that is 4th option. Then still if you want to verify quickly, then we can say that benzene on treating with oleum H2S2O7, further treating with sodium fusion, sodium hydroxide fusion, then acetic hydrolysis will get the phenol. This is also well known to us. Then how do we convert this 1 propanol to 2 propanol? When you look at this fourth process, concentrate sulfuric acid, it will give what? 1 propene. Further acetic hydrolysis will give what? So 2 propanol. So this we can check also if still we are not confident. Then next, if we look at the question number, next question when we are going to see, so the major product formed in the following sequence of reactions. So first thing will be, they mentioned very clearly, monochlorinated product. Ethane on halogenation in presence of sunlight, what we are going to get? Ethyl chloride, ethyl chloride. So this is X. That ethyl chloride further treating with ammonia, then what will be the product? CH3CH2 NH2, ethanamine. So after that well familiar process to us, diazotization, followed by the last process, we need to be very careful. What is that? So water. So diazotization of this process will give what? Ethyl diazonium chloride. Ethyl diazonium chloride. This is the product, we will get it. So this on hydrolysis, what we are going to get? So CH3CH2OH. So this is which option? Second option, ethanol. So here the sequence wise we need to be very careful. If you are water based only, we got. So if there is a different compound, the product will be different. Next, so in a qualitative analysis, bismuth 3 is detected by appearance of precipitate. So this is a solid state. Calculate the pH when the following equilibrium exists at 298 Kelvin. So calculate the pH, but given compound is pretty clear to us, OH, right, base. Then we know solubility and solubility product we come across. So then BiO-OH, a solid substance, will dissociate as, how they only mentioned as BiO plus and OH minus. Then here if you are going to consider the solubility is S, obviously it is also what? S only. Then KSP is equal to S square. Did they given for us KSP means? Yes. What is the value? 4 into 10 power minus 10. Then S is equal to square root of KSP. Then I am going to write this value 4 into 10 power minus 10. Then square root means it's very simple calculation without troubling us. NTA gave simple values to us. So S is equal to, look at this, OH minus. Are we getting pH directly here? No. What they are getting? POH, because hydroxide is given, hydroxide ion. So POH is equal to minus log of OH minus ion concentration. Then we are substituting this value quickly, 2 into 10 power minus 5. Then we got that 5 minus log 2. We want pH. So we in the class also we discussed very clearly. They will give base, they will ask pH. Then what? How to calculate? So pH is equal to 14 minus POH. So 14 minus of this value give us that. So 14 minus 5, 9. Log 2 value also they gave clearly to us. What is that? 0.3010. Then 14 minus 9 point, minus of minus it will become plus 0.3010. So which option is matching? Third option is matching to us. So here we should be very careful. First one will be POH. After this we should not excite. 5 minus log 2. We should not take the 4.699. They are asking pH. They are not asking POH. So we should be very careful with the options. Then after that we are proceeding to talk about the next question. So here this also one good question from chemical equilibrium which we discussed in the classroom. So 1 DMQ means what? 1 liter of CO2 gas is passed over red hot coke, right? Coke we are passing. Then the volume of gaseous mixture after complete process at STP we observed that how much? 1.4 liters. Then the composition of the gaseous mixture under same given conditions will be what we are going to determine. So here CO2 gas they only mentioned, coke means solid or not, so gives rise to form 2 moles of carbon monoxide. Then initially how much they gave? 1 liter, 1 liter, 1 dm cube equal to 1 liter. So here it will be 0 and here also it will be 0. After that let us consider some x liters of CO2 reacted with carbon, then it turn up into carbon monoxide. Then 1 minus x is equal to, here solid, so it doesn't have any influence. Then if you are going to consider this is what? 2x, right? Volume, net volume, why we consider here? We seen that because we require volume, solid volumes we don't consider. Gaseous volumes how much they said to us? 1 minus x plus 2x is equal to, after complete process they gave for us 1.4 liters. Then x value is how much? So here x value is how much? 0.4 liters. From this, if x is 0.4 liters here, then here you substitute, here 2x is equal to how much? 2 into 0.4, 0.8 liters. This is how much? 0.8 liters. This 1 minus 0.4 is how much? 0.6 liters. So then 0.6 liters of CO2 is there and 0.8 liters of CO, carbon monoxide is there. Then options, if you look at that, everywhere CO is given first. So CO value how much we got? 0.8. So 0.8, how many options are there? 2 and 3. So in this 2 and 3, after that what we have to see? So carbon dioxide volume, how much it is? 0.6. So which is we observed in third option. So not in the any other options. So in the excitement, in the calculation speed, we should not see the first option. So 0.6 liters of CO is not there. What is that? 0.6 liters of CO2 is there. Okay. Next we are going to discuss about the another question. So another simple question, as we expected structure of atom we are getting question. So here quantum number based, so that is one of the prime area for us. So Bohr's atomic model we expected, we didn't see in question, and quantum number we expected, we got. So here n value equal to 2. So we know azimuthal quantum number L equal to 0, s orbital, 1 means p orbital, 2 means d orbital, 3 means f orbital, L values, then it is easy to identify to us. So this principal quantum number L equal to 1, L equal to 1 means what? P orbital, that means 2p, 2p means what? Where is that? So A to 2. So A to 2 directly options, how many are there? 2 options are there. Next, after that L equal to 0 means what? S orbital, 4s. Then 4s means B2, which one? A2, 2. Then B2, which option it is? 4s, 3. With this we will try to answer. So where it is? So only in the B3. Here also matching. Next we need to see that 5 to L equal to 3 means what? F. So C2, this is 5F4. So 4 where we can observe only in the first option. So that is simple one. So now still you can see that 3 to D, 3D where it is available? First option. So that is also we can verify that. So time is matter, we cannot keep solving all the things, right, in the exam hall, but still you can get the option. Next. So after that, one good question from the organic chemistry, little confusing question also for students. Then here everybody will answer first one. So chlorine in presence of UV light or sunlight, so directly we will write this product as benzene hexachloride. So this is the product we will get. So here one option is clear 6. Then our mind is fluctuating between 1 and 2. Here benzene on treating with chlorine in presence of anhydrous AlCl3, Lewis acid as catalyst. Under dark and cold conditions, what will be the product? So X will be, the product is here, aromaticity will be retained. So what is happening? 6 cycles of electrophilic aromatic substitution is taking place. Therefore, how many chlorines will come? 6 chlorines will come. Then they are asking, what is the question? The number of chlorine atoms present in the products X and Y. Here how many are there? 6. Here how many are there? 6. So we will take the second option. Right. So now we will go for the next question. Right. In the following reaction sequence, X and Z they want, not Y. So we should be careful here, X and Z. So then they are asking here, familiar reaction, ethanol or propanol on treating with PCl3 or PCl5 will get what? Chloroalkanes. So here they give 3 carbon. So here we will get what? They only give the propyl chloride, N-propyl chloride. And then what will be the other product here? X they are questioning. Here will be, so here it will be POCl3, we will get it, POCl3 plus HCl. Then after that we are going to get the one more, this X1 on treating with, so alcoholic KOH with heat, this is the symbol which will help us to answer. Alcoholic KOH with heat means what? Dehydrohalogenation takes place. Then we are going to get the product CH3, CH double bond, CH2, propene will be formed. Then after that HBr with dibenzoyl peroxide. So benzoyl peroxide means what? So C6H5CO2, anti-Markovnikov rule or Karash effect or peroxide effect we studied, right? So alkenes on addition of HBr only in presence of peroxides will give what? Negative addendum will added to sp2 carbon which have more number of hydrogens. So obviously negative addendum is what? Br minus will add it to this carbon. So therefore we are going to get what is the product? So CH3, CH2, CH2, Br. So this is the product we are going to get, option 4. Then after that we are going to discuss with the okay, next another one interesting question we got. So here these are the applications of D and F block elements from NCERT, straightly taken this question from NCERT. Last before the summary they given applications, D and F block applications. In that they given V2O5 means our mind is fixed from first right +1 onwards, that's nothing but contact process. Iron means what? Haber process. Then PDCl2 means what? Walker process. Then nickel complex means what? Polymerization of so alkynes. So from this we can say V2O5 means, so directly our third option is telling that contact process, manufacturing of sulfuric acid from sulfur dioxide. Then iron, so here we can say that preparation of ammonia. From this A2 3 we can see there. Next one will be B2, here it will be what? 1. So A23 B2 1. Then here palladium chloride means what? Polymerization of alkynes. Then here nickel complex will be used for polymerization of alkynes. Then palladium chloride, Walker's process, C2 4. Therefore which option we can see this one? So here it's clearly mentioned to us, right? So A2 3, then B2 1, then we can see this only here only A2 3 and B2 1 and C2 4 and D2 2. So directly we can take the fourth option. So otherwise if you know first two also you can able to answer, we can say that easy question only. Next question we are going to discuss, identify the correct statement. So generally we know, right, NEET they will ask correct statement, incorrect statements, we must be very careful. So they are asking here correct statement. What is that? ClF3. So we already studied not only ClF3 interhalogen compounds, X prime thrice, right, ClF3 here, ClF3, BrF3, IF3, ICl3, all we seen that these will have how many bond pairs? 3 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs. 3 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs, total will be 5. sp3d hybridization and alphabet T shape, we already know this question, very straight question. It has T shaped geometry with 2 lone pairs on central chlorine atom. Central chlorine atom. So next, after this, calculate the EMF of the half cell given below. So this is the equation, platinum H2, how many atmosphere pressure? We must be very careful, 2 atmosphere pressure of the H2 gas, and the concentration what is given to us? 0.02 molar. Then what will be the half cell equation first? So H2 turn up into 2H plus 2 electrons. These electrons will be taken by the chlorine gas and it will become Cl minus. That Cl minus and H plus they mention here as HCl. That means H2 plus Cl2 gives rise to form 2HCl. That's the way we have to consider. Now they also given data we need to understand. So here 0 to plus 1 increase in the oxidant state is called as oxidation. So they gave that SOP of hydrogen gas given as 0 volts. Next, they also said that 2.303 RT by farad is equal to 0.059 you take rather than 0.0591. Then we will calculate Nernst equation. We expected already this question. Electrochemistry means Nernst equation. That's the way we fixed our mindset. So E cell is equal to E naught cell minus 0.0591 by N log of concentration of products by reactants, and each concentration will rise to the respective powers. Each concentration will rise to their respective powers. Here X and Y are what? Concentrations of the reactants and products. Then if you are going to consider this one, E cell is given to us 0 minus 0.0591 by 591 only will take, because they given this value as 0.059. N factor, how many electrons are involved here? 2 log, what is the product? H plus. H plus concentration is given how much? 0.02, but each concentration will rise to this power, right, divided by concentration of reactant H2 gas, how much they gave in the atmosphere? 2, pressure of H2, directly we substituted, then we got that minus 0.0591 by 2 log, here I can say that 2 into 10 power minus 2 whole square, then 2 square means 4 and 10 power minus 2 whole square means minus 4 by 2, then we will get simple 2. Then calculations when we are going to do this quickly, then log 2, this we are going to simplify, log 2 into 10 power minus 4 will come out as minus 4 plus log 2, minus 4 plus log 2. So when we are going to do this value, here minus 3.7 will be there. So then minus of 0.059 by 2 into minus of 3.7, then minus of minus will become what? Plus. With plus, what are the values in the given thing, and if you simplify, we will get the 0.109. Here it is minus, actually here it is given option is minus, and here also it will be minus, then we will simplify this one, minus of minus plus, then 2 into, so if you are going to calculate 16.5, so here 2 2 ones are 18.5, 18.5 into this, if you are going to do it, you will get the 0.109 volts. So this is little bit calculative for the student. Next question. So as we expected, chemical kinetics units, half-life and graphs are the extreme important for us, and that too we fixed for the 0 order and first order, but they also given second order and third order. From as we studied nth order reaction, we can answer this question. So 0 order, so units, 0 order units is what? 0 order reaction units is equal to rate of reaction units, we studied several times. So mole per liter per second, mole per liter per second. So which option it is? Fourth option. Fourth option. Then first order, second inverse, which option? Third option. Then second order units, mole power minus 1 liter second inverse, and third order, mole power minus 2 and liter power 2 and time inverse, that is second inverse. Therefore it is which option? 2. 4 3 1 2, where we can see that 4 3 1 2. So only in 4 3 here, third order means this is 2 only, right? So we can see this one, this is the option for us. So 0 order means mole, liter inverse, time inverse, and first order means second inverse. Second order means what? Mole power minus 1 liter second inverse. Then here it will be mole power minus 2 liter square and second inverse. So this we can identify the option. This is the one. 4 3 1 2, this is the option possible for us. So now we can say that next question for us. The calculated spin only magnetic moment of titanium plus 2 ion, and they given for us even configuration also. Such a easy way they given for us. So they want spin only magnetic moment. So mu s is equal to, we know the formula, we derived also this one, square root of n into n plus 2 Bohr magnetons, where n is number of unpaired electrons, well known to you. Then how many unpaired electrons are there means D2 means D has 5 suborbitals, and unless until they filling with one electron, they never get paired up as per Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Then you will say that 2 unpaired electrons, you substitute here 2 into 4 root 8. Root 8 is equal to how much? 2.828 or 83 Bohr magnetons. We can say that nearest value is what? 2.84 Bohr magnetons. Okay. So now further question, the products X and Y are formed during the sequence of the organic equation. So this is first step. We know that Friedel-Crafts alkylation, we expected Friedel-Crafts reactions, either alkylation or acylation definitely will be present in the NEET paper. So here we seen that, so methyl chloride on treating with anhydrous AlCl3, W will be what? This is toluene, methyl benzene. So W is what? Methyl benzene. Then methyl benzene, after that what we are going to do? We are going to treat with the dilute HNO3 in presence of dilute H2SO4. Then we got nitrotoluenes. Then nitrotoluenes, what are those? Ortho and para products we are going to get it. Since methyl group is ortho para director, we are going to get ortho nitrotoluene and para nitrotoluene. Molar mass are what? Same. These are isomers. Molar mass is same. Then and that too, those boiling points will be what? Close to each other. When the boiling points are close to each other, what is the best method for the separation? Fractional distillation. So straight and simple thing. So from our NCERT book only they given this question also. Next, when we consider for the next question, a bulb is rated at 150 watt and converting that 8% of energy into light. then if the energy of one photon is given this many joules, then how many photons are emitted per second? How many photons are emitted per second? Good question from structure of atom. We studied this, right? What is that? The number of photons emitted is equal to n into E. E is what? Each photon energy. One photon energy is equal to efficiency. How much? 150 watt. In that 8%. So 8 by 100. Then how many photons are there? So here watt is equal to joule per second. Watt is equal to what? Joule per second. Number of photons is n. Energy of one photon they given to us straightly. How much? 4.42 into 10 power minus 19 joules. 10 power minus 19 joules is equal to this 15 8s are how much? 1200. So 15 8s are 120 and another 0, 1200 by 100 is equal to how much? 12 joule per second. Then n is equal to so 12 joule per second divided by 4.42 into 10 power minus 19 joules. Then joule cancel, per second only units also we got. Minus 19 goes to the numerator, plus 19. So we got that. Then after that 12 by 4.42, what will be the, we know simplest way, if you take it as 4 also, 4 3s are 12. Since this value little more than 4, it should be less than 3. So logically it should be what? So 2.71 into 10 power 19. So this is the value, 2.71 into 10 power 19 photons per second will be emitted. This is number of photons emitted per second. Next question. Right. Another question, simple question from practical chemistry also we seen. In a test tube contain a salt, one salt is there. We added few drops of sulfuric acid, that to dilute, and when it's added, which gives colorless vapors, and it's smelling like how much? Vinegar. Vinegar means what? Acetic acid only, right? So straight, then without thinking we can say that, and those vapors are turn up blue litmus to red color means what? Acid only will turn up the blue litmus to red color, right? Then we can say straightly acetate. And then, so if it is not vinegar, that one point might not mention, then we might think it may be carbonate also. So they mentioned vinegar smell means what? Acetic acid only should be there. That's all. Now I will invite Department of Biology HOD ma'am will discuss some more bio questions. Okay. Thank you. Hope you are understood and enjoyed well the exam. Have a great day.
Very good evening to all the students who are watching live. So now we are back to bio. So I'm not going to take much of your time because all of you are eagerly waiting for the right answers which is going to come up. So let's directly start off with respect to that of the questions. Okay, as you see the questions here, it comes from the topic which is called as biomolecules. So if you see the question, it's about amino acid which is given here, and the question says correct. So we are going to find out which is the correct statement here. So they are substituted methanes, a true statement. Serine is an aromatic, no hydroxyl methyl, so this is going to be a wrong statement. Valine is neutral amino acid, it's true. And lysine is basic, not acidic. So as per your question, answer should be A and C. So let's mark option 3 as the right answer. Next question. Okay, so anatomy of flowering plants and bulliform cells, we all know they are large transparent cells which is present in monocot, which reduce what is called as transpiration, a very direct question. So when we say transpiration, so fungal spores, impermeable, wrong statement. To perform photosynthesis, not at all. To minimize water loss during water stress, right statement. And fourth option is wrong. So thereby our answer for this question is going to be option number 3. Okay. Now, the question says find, the word highlighted here is incorrect, about photosynthesis. So the whole topics comes from the topic which is called as photosynthesis. First one says that water splitting complex is associated with PS1, it should be PS2, so this is incorrect. So C4 plants uses C4 plant uses C3 pathway for carbon dioxide fixation has a main biosynthetic pathway, a true statement. The C4 plant's photorespiration does not occur, a true statement. C3 plants exhibit Kranz anatomy. So this should be C4 here. So this statement is incorrect. ATP synthesis in chloroplast occurs through chemiosmosis, true. So our answer here is going to be incorrect based. So A and D. So let us mark the option 2 becomes our answer for this question. Okay, we have matched the following, and in match the following you have conjunctive tissue. When the word conjunctive tissue comes, we obviously remember xylem and phloem. So conjunctive tissue, option number 3. So option 1 is ruled out, option 4 is ruled out. Next comes Casparian strip, represents what is called as root. So thereby suberin comes with respect to root. So B becomes 4. So here both are correct. So if it is subsidiary cell, all of us know it should be what is called as within the vicinity of guard cell. So our C becomes 1. Because C becomes 1, our option becomes option 3. Okay. Let's move on to the next question. Once again, we have matched the following coming from the topic biotechnology. See the first option A, which says genetically modified organism. If it is genetically modified organism, we are marking option 2. Thermostable polymerase, then it is going to be option 3. So this is ruled out, this is ruled out. So followed with that, we mark thermostable polymerase is Thermus aquaticus. Option 1 is also ruled out. Then our answer becomes option 3, because TI plasmid is Agrobacterium tumefaciens, PBR 322, Escherichia coli. Okay. Now, plant growth and development is the topic which comes from our first PUC topic. Here the word says hetero. Hetero means 2. So heterophilous means we are representing the leaf here. And development in response to environment is an example of which of the following phenomenon is a question. So obviously the answer should be plasticity. So I'm directly marking the answer because you would have come across coriander, buttercup, and here the other options which says differentiation, elasticity and redifferentiation is a wrong answer. So option 4 becomes our answer. It's a direct question. Okay. Morphology of flowering plant, racemose, inflorescence. So we all know young flowers are towards the tip. So it keeps growing. When I say it keeps growing, then the flowers are born in acropetal succession. So answer becomes option 3. 1 is gone, 2 is gone, and the 4th one is gone. So option is 3. Okay. Which of the following disorders? So this question comes from genetics topic, and we all of us have studied very clearly, which says that substitution of glutamic acid by valine at its 6th position of a beta globin chain, directly everyone will come across that one word which is called sickle cell anemia. So thereby 1, 2, 4 is ruled out. Our answer becomes option 3. Okay. Once again, we have match the following coming from the same genetics topic. The question says with option A saying incomplete dominance, then incomplete dominance will go with respect to inheritance of flower color from Anthraeum species, snapdragon. So A becomes 2. If A becomes 2, fourth and second option is ruled out. Codominance, AB blood group, so B becomes 4. So then option 3 is ruled out. Our answer becomes option 1. I think most of you would have saved a lot of time because majority of the question was match the following based. So we move on to a chapter which is called sexual reproduction of flowering plants, the first chapter of second PUC. So it says arrange the following in correct developmental sequence related to microsporogenesis. For microsporogenesis, I would like sporogenous tissue first. So B takes the first position. So then option 4, option 1 is ruled out. From sporogenous tissue, pollen mother cell come. So second position for D. So B is correct, B is correct, D is correct, D is correct. Pollen mother cell underwent meiosis to produce what is called as tetrad. So the third position goes to A. So this is right, this is wrong. So our answer becomes option 3 again. Okay, a topic from biotechnology, and it's a well known question to all of us. So it's about DNA fingerprinting. Write the correct sequence. So let us start. So if you check all the 4 options starts with A. So let's see what is A. Isolation of DNA and its digestion by restriction endonuclease. So it clearly stated that DNA is cut into fragments. If the DNA is cut into fragments, so next step is segregating the size. So we should run gel electrophoresis. So among the option, the word electrophoresis is said to be E. So let's see where is E. So this is correct. So let us rule out the topic. Ruled out. After separation, let's say the fragments are now transferred to nitrocellulose sheet, which is called as southern blotting. So after A, we have E followed with option C. Then this is wrong statement. Your answer is going to be option number 1. Okay. Exploring molecular, genetic and species level diversity for product of economic importance. Biomagnification, obviously we are not talking about increase of toxic effects such as DDT. Biofortification, we are not increasing the nutrient value of food crops, wrong. Nor bioremediation, because we are not cleaning the environment with microorganism which can be even created genetically, so wrong. So this question is related to biodiversity topic and the answer becomes bioprospecting, option 4. Next, which of the following statement says true? The highlighted word here is true. With sex determination in case of honeybee. Option A, an offspring formed from the union of sperm and egg develops as a female, that is queen or worker, true statement. An unfertilized egg develops as a male by a process called as parthenogenesis, true. A male has half a set of number of chromosome than that of the female, this is also a true statement. Males produce sperm mitotically, we already told it is parthenogenesis, so option D is wrong. Honeybees have a haplodiplontic sex determination, true. So our option A, B, C and E are correct, so thereby A, B, C and E are correct, so option 4 becomes our right answer. Next question, direct question, diagram based. that is with PCR, coming from the topic of biotechnology. We all know the first step in this method is denaturation. So obviously 3 and 4 is gone. After denaturation, the second step is annealing. Last step is extinction. So our answer is option 1. Next, which of the following statements are correct with respect to DNA separation and isolation? So now let's look into the topic. So it says which is said to be correct. The cutting of DNA is done by molecular scissors. Yes, REN enzymes are used in order to cut the DNA fragments. Once they are cut, we use gel electrophoresis in order to know the length of the fragment. The DNA fragments separate according to the size in an agarose gel upon electrophoresis. True. Next, he says the separated DNA fragments can be seen. It's without. So this is wrong. It's with UV light. If we use UV light, ethidium bromide comes into play. The separated DNA fragments are then stained with ethidium bromide and can be seen with UV radiation, not with visible light. So A and B is said to be our correct answer. So option 4 is the right one. So I completed my set of questions. Followed with this, we will go across the next topic. Oh, I think we are facing some technical glitch. Just stick on to us. Just stick on to us.
Hello everyone. Sorry for the technical glitch. Myself Chiranjeevi Sinha, Associate Head of Department Physics at RV Learning Hub. Now I will be discussing NEET Physics paper. I am starting with the very first question of physics. So 100 ton closely wound circular coil of radius 5 centimeter has a magnetic field of 3.14 into 10 to the power minus 3. So radius is given, number of turns given, magnetic field is also given. The current flowing through the coil and the magnitude of magnetic moment of this coil are. So we have to find current and magnetic moment. Magnetic field is given. So if I apply the formula of magnetic field for n number of turns, I can write mu naught Ni divided by 2r. So magnetic field is given as 3.14 into 10 to the power minus 3. Mu naught value is also given 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7. So I can write number of turns 100, current we have to find divided by double of radius. Radius is given as 5 centimeter, so I can write 0.05. So if you solve this equation for current, you will be getting 2.5 ampere as final answer. But one more thing we have to find, that is magnetic moment. So for that I can apply this formula Ni into A. Number of turns 100, current 2.5, area pi into r square, so you can write 0.05 square. Again by solving this equation, this you will be getting 1.96 ampere meter. So we can approximate the value. I think option 1 we have current as 2.5 ampere and 1.96 is very close to 2. So option 1 is correct. Then we have second question, match list 1 and 2, match the following question. The first equation is given as E equal to h into nu. So we know that this is from photoelectric effect. So we can write energy of photon. Then diffraction and interference we have studied in wave optics. So both are given for wave nature of light. So we can match this with 3. lambda equal to h by p, wavelength is inversely proportional to momentum, so this C will match with first. Then we have Compton effect, so it will match with particle nature of light. So which option is correct? A is matching with 4, so 2 options are there, 3 options are there. Lambda is equal to h by p is matching with first one C1. So I think only one option is having C1, so first will be right. A is matching with 4, B is matching with 3, C1 and D matching with 2. So option 1 is correct. Then this question is taken from semiconductor chapter. So as we can see, current is coming from the battery, so the direction of current will be like this, correct. So we just have to identify which diode is reverse bias and which one is forward bias, and I think all diodes are ideal and identical. So this will be forward biasing, both are in same direction. This will be reverse biasing, this will be forward biasing, and again this will be reverse biasing. So reverse biasing means current through this and this branch will be 0. So I can write I equal to 0, this side also I equal to 0. So current is passing through only 2 resistors. We have this one 5 ohm and 4 ohm and 2 ohm, correct. So the current is passing through this one 4 ohm and this one is 2 ohm resistor. So I will redraw this 4 ohm and 2 ohm. Then we have one battery of 10 volt EMF. So these two are in parallel combination, so I can write R equivalent as 4 into 2 upon 4 plus 2. We have EMF as 10 volt, so how to find current? E by R equivalent, so you can write 10 upon, this side I will be getting 8 by 6, so you can write 8 by 6, so 60 by 8, so I can write 30 by 4 means 15 by 2, so 15 by 2, second option is correct. Question number 4, speed of light in vacuum is taken as unity. Speed is taken as unity if light takes 6 minutes 40 seconds to reach the earth from sun. So we have to find distance between sun and earth. So you can just write distance is equal to speed into time, correct. Speed is given as unity, so I can write 1. Time is given as 6 minutes 40 seconds. So if you convert this into second, 6 into 60 plus 4, so you will be getting 400 unit. So which option is correct? Option 3. Then we have one question from motion under gravity topic. So what is given? The following graph shows variation of velocity with time of a ball thrown vertically upward and falling back. So one ball is thrown upward, it will reach the maximum height, velocity will be 0, then it will come back and velocity at this point, suppose it is projected with v or u speed, it will come back to the same point and will have same speed. So if I have to plot the graph for Vt graph, initially it was having some velocity u, initial speed of projection, suppose this is u. We know the formula u minus gt, we can apply this equation, acceleration is minus g. So if you follow this equation, graph will be straight line, this will be half of the time of light and again it will have the same value but in opposite direction, so minus u. Now you can match which option can be correct. I think first option cannot be velocity time graph. So if speed is asked, then we can mark this one. Again velocity is negative while coming back, so this option cannot be answered.
C can be answer, this cannot be, and last one is also not possible. If you look at the options, C is given in only one first option, so I will mark 1 as correct answer. Now we have one question from vernier calipers. 20 vernier scale division coincide with 16 main scale division, each division of length 1 mm. Find least count. I think very general question. First we have to find VSD value. We have 1 MSD as 1 mm, and the first line is given as 20 VSD is coinciding with 16. So I can write 20 VSD is equal to 16 MSD. So 1 VSD can be written as 16 by 20 MSD. This can be written as, I think, 8 by 10, so 0.8 MSD. Correct. 1 MSD is given as 1 mm, so I can write 0.8 mm. We have to find least count. Least count formula is 1 MSD minus 1 VSD. So if I write 1 mm minus 0.8 mm, answer will be 0.2 mm. But if you look at the options, all the options are given in centimeter, we are having answer in millimeter. So if you divide by 10, then you will get in centimeter, so you can write 0.02 centimeter. So option 3 is correct. Question number 7 from AC, alternating current. Resistance is given, capacitance, inductance is also given, all are in series. So series LCR circuit is given. Resonance frequency of the circuit is approximately. We know the formula of resonance frequency, 1 upon 2 pi 1 upon L into C. So I can substitute the value 1 upon 2 pi. What is inductance? Inductance is given as 1 millihenry, so 10 to the power minus 3. Capacitance is given as 0.1 microfarad, so 10 to the power minus 6 and minus 1, so I can write minus 7. So you will be getting 10 to the power minus 10. It will come in the numerator, it will become 10 to the power 10. So if you find the root, you will be getting 10 to the power 5 by 2 pi. All the options are given in kilohertz, correct. So you can take out these 3 zeros, means divide by 1000, you will be getting 100 by 2 pi. 100 by 2 pi is approximately 3 into 2 we can approximate as 6. So 15.9 can be the right answer. Question number 8. The figure given below shows a long straight solid wire of circular cross section of radius A. So long straight wire is given. So if I draw like this, correct. So as you have applied Ampere circuital law for any solid cylindrical case, correct. So I can directly write, if current is flowing from left to right throughout this solid cylinder and the total current is I. So formula for magnetic field inside can be written as mu naught I r upon 2 pi r square, and for outside you can write mu naught I upon 2 pi r. So as you can see in the formula, B inside is proportional to R. So proportional to R means graph will be straight line, and B outside is inversely proportional to small r. Small r is the distance from center axis, I can say, this side small r. So inversely proportional, so graph will be hyperbolic after that. So which option is matching with this? First option. So first option is correct. Question number 9. Uniform metallic wire having resistance 4 ohm is bent to form a square loop ABCD. This one ABCD, uniform metallic wire, correct. So I think one will have divided in 4 parts now. So 1 ohm, 1 ohm, 1 ohm, and this one is also 1 ohm. Resistance of 2 ohm is connected between point B and D, this one, and a battery of 2 volt is connected across point A and C as given in the diagram. We have to find the current coming out from the battery. So as we can see, the ratio of these two resistance and these two resistances are same, correct, 1 by 1, 1 by 1. So this is an example of Wheatstone bridge. So the potential at these 2 points will be same, so no current will flow through this 2 ohm resistor, correct. So we can remove this resistor. Now how many resistors are left? 1 ohm, 1 ohm, there are 4 resistors, then these two will be in series combination, these two will also be in series combination, 1 plus 1 2 ohm, 1 plus 1 2 ohm. If 2 ohm resistors we are having 2 in parallel, you have to divide by 2 equal resistances, so 2 by 2 is 1. So at last we will be having 2 volt, 1 battery and 1 resistor of 1 ohm. Once again resistance, these two are in series, so 1 plus 1 2, 1 plus 1 2, 2 in parallel, so 1 ohm. So current through this battery will be 2 by 1, 2 ampere. First option is correct. Question number 10. An unknown nucleus has a nuclear density of this much, 2.29 into 10 to the power 17, and a mass of 19.9 into 10 to the power minus 27. The mass number A is approximately. So as we know, the radius formula as R naught A to the power 1 by 3. To find mass number, we can write mass is equal to density into volume. Mass and density densities are given, so either you can apply this formula 4 by 3 pi r cube. I have written equation this side, so I will substitute 4 pi by 3, so you can write R naught cube into A. So mass is given, density is given, R naught value is also given, so by this equation you can find A. This is one method, or you can apply to solve this question. It will take time to solve the equation and get the answer. You can write this radius equation again. Now take this R naught in the denominator, you will be having A to the power 1 by 3, multiply by density and 4 pi by 3, or first you can cube both sides, then you will get A. So we just have to find the ratio of these two. So I can write A as density into 4 pi by 3, this side density into 4 pi by 3 R naught cube. I have multiplied by these two, numerator and denominator. So now this is rho into volume, so mass given, suppose this is capital M, this one is for mass number 1, so I can write mass of proton. Mass is given as 2.29 into 10 to the power 17, proton mass is 1. Value is given as 17 and this side also 17. So you can divide and get the answer. So the answer for this question is 12. You can apply any one equation, either this one or this one, you will be getting answer. Extremely sorry, I think mass is given as 19.9, 19.926 into 10 to the power minus 27 divided by 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 27. So after solving this, we will be getting approximately equal to 12. Mass is given as 19.9. Question number 11. Question number 11 is based on EMI. A rectangular wire loop of side 8 centimeter and 3 centimeter with a small cut is moving out of a region of uniform magnetic field. Magnetic field is given as 0.3 Tesla. Directed normal to the plane of loop. The EMF developed across the cut if the velocity of the loop is 2 centimeter per second. in a direction normal to the shorter side of the loop. So, suppose if I draw one rectangle and there is a small cut, suppose at this side. This one is 3 centimeter, this one is 8 centimeter, this one is moving right with velocity v as the question is given. The velocity in a direction normal to the shorter side. So, 3 centimeter is less in a magnitude, so perpendicular to that. And this rectangular wire loop is coming out, moving out from the region. So, I can consider that this particular side magnetic field is given perpendicular to this rectangular loop like this. Correct, magnetic field is perpendicular to this loop coming out like this. So, we know the formula of induced EMF, L dot V cross B. We also know that if any two vectors are parallel or anti-parallel, then EMF will be 0, no need to find. So, out of these 4 sides, no EMF on this side. Why? This is outside the magnetic field. So, no EMF on this side. These two are parallel to velocity. So, again EMF induced will be 0. So, these 3 lines are not having any induced EMF, only this side will have one battery. Without considering the direction, I am just writing the formula direct. So, LVB, all 3 are mutually perpendicular, velocity this side, length this side, magnetic field into the plane. All 3 are mutually perpendicular, so I can directly write the product of L, V and B. What is length? Length is given as 0.03 centimeter, velocity is given as 2 centimeter, so 0.02, and then magnetic field is given as 0.3. So, 3 into 3, 9, 9 into 2 is 18, so only one option is given. So, without finding the exact answer, we can mark option 1 as correct answer. Next, question number 12, galvanometer of resistance 100 ohm gives full scale deflection of current of 1 milliampere. It is converted into an ammeter of range 0 to 10 ampere. So, I can write the galvanometer resistance capital G as 100 ohm, then full scale deflection current. So, I can write Ig as 1 milliampere 10 to the power minus 3 ampere. Now, we have to convert the given galvanometer into an ammeter of range 0 to 10 ampere, so that it can measure up to 10. So, this is the current that we have to measure. So, I can write I as 10 ampere. So, shunt resistance can be written as galvanometer resistance upon n minus 1. If you have completed this topic, you should know this formula. So, G upon n minus 1, what is n? That how many times of full scale deflection current you have to measure, that number you have to write, and then you will get the answer. You can apply parallel, 2 resistors will be in parallel. So, after dividing the current, you will get this equation. So, capital G can be written as 100, this side I can write 10 upon 10 to the power minus 3 minus 1. So, if you solve this, you will be getting 100 upon I think 10 to the power 4 minus 1, so 0.01, 0.010, 0.01, first option is correct. Question number 13, this is from wave optics YDSE experiment, Young's double slit. Using monochromatic light of wavelength lambda, intensity of light at a point on the screen where the path difference is lambda. So, path difference is given as lambda, and whenever path difference is an integral multiple of lambda, means it is a case of constructive interference. So, I maximum is given as k. I maximum is given as k. Then we have to find intensity of light at a point where the path difference is lambda by 3. So, I can apply this formula, I is equal to I maximum cos square phi by 2. What is phi? Phase difference. So, first we have to find phase difference with the help of given information. Lambda by 3 is the next or new path difference. So, I can apply this formula delta x by lambda is equal to phi by 2 pi. What is delta x? Path difference, lambda by 3 divided by lambda, we have phi upon 2 pi. Lambda and lambda will get cancelled, phi will be equal to 2 pi by 3. 2 pi by 3 means 120 degree. If I substitute the same value in the equation, I maximum is k, cos square phi by 2, it will be pi by 3. Pi by 3 means 60 degree, cos 60 is 1 by 2, so square of 1 by 2 is 1 by 4. So, I can write k by 4 as final answer. So, of which option is correct? Option 1. Moving to the next question. Question number 14. The magnitude and direction of acceleration produced in a body of mass 5 kg when two mutually perpendicular forces 8 Newton and 6 Newton act on it are respectively. So, suppose this is object, 6 Newton force is acting on this side, 8 Newton force is acting along y axis, correct. I have taken x and y axis mutually perpendicular, mass is given as 5 kg. We have to find acceleration as well as direction from 6 Newton or 8 Newton. So, the resultant of these two will be along this side, and the resultant I can write 8 square plus 6 square, both are at 90 degree, 100 root is 10, so answer is 10 Newton. Force acting on the particle is 10. So, acceleration can be written as force by mass. So, 10 by 5 means 2 meter per second square. Now, while finding the angle from 6 or 8 Newton, if I find this angle theta, I can write tan theta as, this line is perpendicular, so 6 divided by 8 can be written as 3 by 4. So, theta can be written as tan inverse 3 by 4. So, tan inverse 3 by 4 with which force? 6 Newton or 8 Newton? 8 Newton. In which option the same values are given? Acceleration 2 meter per second square, then 8 Newton, tan inverse 3 by 4. So, option 3 is correct. Moving to question number 15. We have to find equivalent capacitance and the charges on each capacitor respectively, correct. So, all 4 capacitances are in series combination and all are equal as per the question. So, if equal capacitances are given in series combination, the equivalent across these 2 points will be, all are same, so I can write C by 4. In place of all 4 capacitance, if I draw 1, it will be C by 4. What is capacitance 10? 10 by 4 is 2.5 microfarad. This one is also same 2.5 microfarad. So, now we have only 2 capacitance, both are in parallel, same capacitance. So, in parallel combination we can add. So, the equivalent capacitance, final equivalent will be 2.5 plus 2.5, 5 microfarad. So, I think option 1, 2 and 4 are having 5 microfarad. Now, when it comes to finding charges on each capacitor, for that if both the capacitances are same, they will have equal charges, correct. So, to find charge supplied by the battery, I can write C equivalent into V. So, 50 into 5, it will be 250 microcoulomb. 250 microcoulomb is the charge supplied by the battery. These two are having same capacitance, so they will distribute equally. So, I can write 125 microcoulomb this side, 125 microcoulomb this side. So, final equivalent is 5 microfarad, charge across all the capacitors are same, equal to 125. So, option 1 is correct. So, as I have completed few questions from physics, now I would like to request Saini Tejaswini ma'am to come and discuss the biology paper now.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, students. I am Saini Tejaswini from the Department of Biology. Let us move on to the next set of questions. Question number 121. So, this is from the chapter Biological Classification. So, the question goes like this: the main criteria used for 5 kingdom classification proposed by R. H. Whittaker in 1969 included cell structure, yes. Body organization. Presence of flagellum, no. Reproduction, yes. Phylogenetic relationship, yes. So we need to find the correct option here. So henceforth the option is A, B, D and E. So the correct answer is 1. Moving on to the next question. So this is the question from the chapter Sexual Reproduction in Flowering Plants. Which one of the following is a triploid cell? We need to find out which is triploid. Central cell is a resultant of monosporic development, so it is haploid. Primary endosperm cell, it is a resultant of triple fusion, so hence it is triploid. Zygote, you know, it is the fusion of male and female gametes, so hence it is diploid. Synergid cell is again haploid. So when we look into the option which is a triploid cell, so the option is 2, that is PEC, primary endosperm cell. Moving on to the next question. So the question is from packaging, that is from molecular basis of inheritance. Which of the following statements are correct? We need to identify the correct statements given here. So let us look into question one after the other. Histones are organized to form 8 molecules called histone octamer. Yes, this statement is correct. Histones are negatively charged basic proteins. Histones are negatively charged basic proteins. No, they are positively charged. Histones are rich in basic amino acid residues, lysine and arginine. Yes, this is correct. This is incorrect. The positively charged DNA is wrapped around the histone octamer to form the nucleosome. So we all know that DNA is negatively charged and it is coiled around the positive charged protein, right? So which forms the nucleosome. So this statement is incorrect. The packaging of chromatin at higher levels requires an additional set of proteins called non-histone chromosomal proteins, which we in short call it as NHC proteins. So this option is also correct. When we look into the statement, so we have B and D as the incorrect options. So henceforth the option is going to be B and D. So A, B, D only. So moving on to the next question. Which of the following is an in situ conservation? So this is from the chapter Biodiversity and Conservation. Sacred groves belongs to in situ conservation, that is on site. Wildlife safari parks, botanical gardens, seed banks. So they all are ex situ conservation. They come under ex situ conservation. So henceforth the option 1 is correct. Moving on to the next question. So this is from the chapter Molecular Basis of Inheritance. So in lac-operon, we know that there are 3 structural genes, lac-Z, lac-Y and lac-A. So they have asked here Z gene codes for. So Z gene codes for beta galactosidase. So this is our option. So when we look into the other options, you know that lac-A is going to code for trans-acetylase. I gene is going to code for the repressor of lac-operon. Permease is coded by lac-Y and thereby lac-Z gene codes for beta galactosidase, which is going to do the hydrolysis of disaccharide lactose into glucose and galactose. So we have the match the following from the chapter Plant Growth and Development. So when we look into the option 2,4-D, which is an auxin, so this is an herbicide. GA3 is gibberellic acid, so which is used in brewing industry. So kinetin is a type of cytokinin, or it is otherwise called as cytokinin. So it is going to be helping in nutrient mobilization. ABA is abscisic acid, which is going to stimulate the stomatal closure. So when we look into our options, It is 3142. So 3142 is option 3. Let's move on to the next question. So the question is from biotechnology and its application. So we need to arrange the sequence, correct sequence of somatic hybridization. So the first option is isolation of cells from two different varieties of plants, and then digestion of their cell walls, followed by isolation of naked protoplasts, and then it is fusion of protoplast to get hybrid protoplast, and lastly it is growing of hybrid protoplast to form new plant. So when we look into the option, so it starts from D, A, B, C, E, henceforth the option is 2. Moving on to the next question. So the question is from respiration in plants. So this is an equation which is given. So that is the RQ value of fat. So a fatty acid, that is tripalmitin, is given here. So we know RQ is nothing but volume of carbon dioxide consumed by volume of oxygen evolved. So when we substitute the value for both, that is 102 carbon dioxide divided by 145 oxygen, so we get 0.7. So RQ is equal to 0.7. So when we look into the options, it is not less than 0.5. So it is between 0.5 to 0.95, thereby the option 2 is correct. So this is a question, a statement given from the chapter Biodiversity and Conservation. So the statement goes like this: since the origin and diversification of life on earth, there have been 5 episodes of mass extinction of species. How is the 6th extinction, which is in progress, different from the previous episodes? So this is a direct statement taken from NCERT. So the option is 2. It says that the present species extinction are 100 to 1000 times faster than in the pre-human times. So the option is 2. Next question. So this is from the biomolecules chapter. We need to match list 1 and list 2 given here. So trypsin is an enzyme. So A goes with 3. Morphin is an alkaloid. So B goes with 4. Concanavalin A is a lectin. So C goes with 2. Collagen is a intercellular ground substance. It goes with 1. So when we look into the option 3, 4, 2 and 1, so it is option 3. Moving on to the next question. Which of the following statement is not true about universal rules of binomial nomenclature? So this is from our very first chapter, Living World. So let us look into the rules of binomial nomenclature. Both the words in the biological name when handwritten are separately underlined or printed in italics. Yes, this statement is correct. The specific epithet in the biological name starts with small letter, so which is also true. The first word in the biological name represents the specific epithet, which is incorrect. Just a second, students. Sorry students for the technical glitch. Let us continue. So moving on to the third statement. The first word in the biological name represents the specific epithet. No, it represents the genus name. While the second component denotes the genus, it represents the specific epithet. So henceforth, this statement is the incorrect one. Yes, biological names are generally in Latin. So moving on to the next question. So this is from the chapter photosynthesis. So the enzyme required for carboxylation in the Kelvin cycle, that is C3 cycle, is, so you know carboxylation is nothing but fixation of carbon dioxide, and the most important enzyme here is the rubisco. So rubisco, which is nothing but RUBP, carboxylase oxygenase. So henceforth the option is 2. So the next question is from morphology of flowering plants. So the floral formula of Solanaceae has been asked here. We need to identify which is the correct one. So as we see here, this is the actinomorphic, bisexual. So calyx 5, and then it is gamopetalous condition. Epipetalous, as we see here, superior ovary and then bicarpellary condition. So the option 1 is the direct answer. So you can eliminate all other 3 options. Moving on to the next question. So this is again from sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Which one of the following types of pollination brings genetically different types of pollen grains? So we know that it is only possible by cross pollination, which is also called as xenogamy. So henceforth the option is 3. So this is a question from respiration in plants. So we have the steps which are involved in the process of aerobic respiration, and their location have been given on the other side. So when we look into glycolysis, occurs in the cytoplasm, right? So ETS, electron transport system, is going to be occurring in inner mitochondrial membrane, accumulation of protons in intermembrane space, and Krebs cycle, which is going to occur in the mitochondrial matrix. When we look into the options here, so only second one is a direct one because A represents 3 and rest all are correct. Thank you students for your patient hearing, and I would like to call upon chemistry faculty Dr. Maheshwar Reddy sir to continue the next set of questions. Thank you.
Okay, good evening students. Now we will continue with our chemistry questions. Next one, if I see that select the reagents that reduces nitriles to primary amines. They are asking that nitriles, we know that nitriles to primary amines, that is nothing but RCH2NH2. So if I write that lithium aluminate is a good reducing agent, so it can convert into nitriles into amines. So and stannous chloride, in that what you call, it's a direct from NCERT question, stannous chloride nitro group converts into what I call amines. But in the case of H2 with what nickel, it can be converted sodium amalgam in the presence of alcohol. So and bromine in the presence of aqueous NaOH, so it won't convert into what, nitriles into amines. So option A, C, D. So I can choose the option 2 is the right answer for this question. Okay, next one if you see. Identify the incorrect statement from the following. So they are asking that incorrect statement from the following they are asking. So carbon has the ability to form p pi p pi. So yes, obviously it can form p pi bond, and ECl3 boron aluminium, so monomer, and it's a dimer. So we know that boron BCl3 can be written as, and Al2 Cl6, it's a monomer and it is a dimer. So definitely this second statement is also correct. And oxygen exhibits only -2 oxygen. No, because this is a wrong statement, because in the peroxides if I see H2O2, so it will exhibit -1 oxidation state also. So definitely the answer will be what? Option 3 is the incorrect statement. So remaining all the correct statements. Okay, so option 3 is the incorrect statement from the for this question. Okay, next one. Although +3 oxidation state is most common in lanthanides, yes, +3 is the common. Cerium, that is 58 atomic number, shows +4 oxidation states. Okay, so they are asking correct statement. It is the nearest integer of radon? No. So obviously it is not a correct statement. After losing that one of the most electron, it acquires 4f14. No, lutetium exhibits out 4f14. So it is atomic number is 61. No, atomic number is 58. So after losing one of the electron, it occurs 4f0 electronic configuration. Option 4 is the right answer for this question. Okay, next question. During the lessons test in the general GOC organic chemistry, they have asked the elements present in an organic compound are converted into. Normally what we do, like we write what you call sulfur, halogens and nitrogens. When fused with what? Sodium metal. We used to fuse with sodium metal. We will get what we call NaCN, Na to sodium sulfide, Na2X and NaX. That means these are all nothing but ionic compounds. So previously it was a covalent compounds, they convert into ionic compounds. So option 3 is the right answer for this question. Next one. The number of hydrogen atoms present in the 5.4 grams of urea. So you know that urea molecular formula is what? Like if I write NH2 C double bond O NH2, mass is nothing but we write 60. So they have asked that 5.4 number of moles we need to find. 5.4 divided by 60, we will get almost 0.09 moles. That is nothing but number of moles. If I write 0.09 into 4 hydrogens are there, into 4 into Avogadro number, 0.23 into 10 to the power of 23. If I multiply all these numbers, we will be getting 2.168. It's a direct question. So you can substitute the values, you will get the answer 2.168 into 10 to the power of 23 is the right answer for this. Option 1 is the right answer for this. Next one. The pair of molecules that are metamers, they are asking that a metamer nothing but different alkyl groups should be there. So here it is a alkyl chain. What do you call? It's not. Option 1 is the wrong answer. Here methoxy is there, and you see here propyl, but here it is a ethyl. So option 2 is the direct question. It's from the NCERT, right? And it is a ketone and it's aldehyde. So option 3 is wrong, and it's a what you call chain isomers. Option 4 is also right. Sorry, option 4 is also wrong. So option 2 is the right answer for this metamers. Next question. So identify the incorrect statement. They have asked that incorrect statement from the following. So nitrogen, phosphorus. So phosphorus and arsenic form d pi bond. Yes, this is also statement, right? Nitrogen can form d pi p pi bond. So nitrogen does not contain d orbitals. So definitely what? It will not form. This is the incorrect statement. Nitrogen can form p pi in the N2 molecule p pi. So statement right. Phosphorus, arsenic, antimony shows yes. So option 2 is the right answer. It is the incorrect statement. So option 2 is the right answer for this question. Next one. Phenolphthalein is used for the indicator for the titration of sodium hydroxide solution against standard solution of oxalic acid. The color change that is observed in the alkaline pH close to the equivalent in the during this transition. We know that in the conical flask, if you take that oxalic acid with phenolphthalein, what? Colorless. When you titrate with NaOH, what you will get? Here colorless to pink color. So generally if you write this what you call oxalic acid with phenolphthalein aldehyde, it becomes colorless. So when you add NaOH, you will get nothing but pink color you will get. So option 3 is the right answer for this question. Match list 1 with list 2. They have asked that list 1 and list 2. So they have asked direct ethylene, that is C double bond. So how many sigma bonds, how many pi bonds? If you write here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 sigma 1 pi bond. If you write 5 sigma 1, so A for 4 here, so only one option is there. So we can write, it's a direct question. And if you write here C2H2, if you see here 1 sigma, 2 sigma, 3 sigma, so that is 3 sigma and 2 pi bonds. So 3 sigma and 2 pi bonds. If you write here, so B for 1, see. So option 1 is the right answer, remaining also you can check that. Option 1 is the right answer for this match list 1 with list 2. A certain temperature T, that is the again Kelvins, during the process 500 joules absorbed by the system and work of 200 joules is work done by the system. So then the change in the internal energy. So first law of thermodynamics, we know that delta U is equals to Q plus W. So what they have told that 500 joules absorbed by the system. Absorbed by system means it should be positive. Worked, and we know that work done by the system means what we can write it, that is negative. So nothing but 500 minus 200, nothing but you will get 300 joules. So option 2 is the right answer for this, direct from what do you call NCERT question. So methane reacts from methane, that is CH4, reacts with steam at 1273, that is almost 1000 degrees Celsius. So in the presence of nickel catalyst produces what? Simple direct question from the CO. Carbon monoxide plus H2O produces in the presence of nickel as well as with very very high temperature. So option 1 is the right answer for this question. Next one, compound P, they have told C8H8O gives red orange precipitate with 2,4 DNP reagent. So DNP means definitely it should be aldehydes and it should be ketones. We know that, okay, aldehydes and ketones are there. Aldehydes, it does not reduces Fellings. Does not reduces Fellings means what does it mean? It definitely, it is not aldehyde, it is a ketone. So option 1 is there, option 2 is also there. And on drastic oxidation, chromic acid produces aromatic compound Q, that is produce effervescence on treating with sodium bicarbonate. Sodium bicarbonate carboxylic acid is what? They is highly soluble in that what you call sodium bicarbonate. So option 2 is the right answer for this question. So here aldehydes is there. So aldehydes is not the correct answer, it's not. So option 2 is the right answer for this question. Next one, a solution of copper sulfate is electrolyzed for the 10 minutes with a current of 1.5 amperes. The mass of the copper deposited in the cat. We know that simple formula what? MIT upon number of electrons into 96. They have given the value 96487 Faradays. So what is the mass? Mass they have given that mass is 63 and I is nothing but current. What is the current they have given? Current of 1.5 amperes. And what is the time? Time they have given 10 minutes. Nothing but should be written as seconds. 10 into 60 divided by number of copper sulfate. Copper sulfate should be in +2 oxygen state. That is number of electrons should be 2 and 96487. So when you substitute all the values, you will be getting the answer will be it should be like 0.2938 grams. So option 4 will be the right. When you substitute the answer, you will get the 0.2938 grams will be deposited. This much amount will be deposited. Option 4 is the right answer for this question. Next question, the functional group that can be identified using what you call phenolphthalein dye test. So it's a direct question from the inside, that is phenolic group can be phthalate, that is dye test can be used for this phenolic. So not alcohol, not aldehyde and not carboxylic acid. Option 1 is the right answer for this question. Okay, next one. The correct statement with regard this secondary structure of DNA and RNA. We know that DNA and RNA is what? Double stranded helix. So here they have to DNA possesses single stranded helix. So option 1 is wrong answer. DNA possesses single stranded. So option 2 is also wrong. DNA possesses a double stranded helix structure. Double stranded helix structure and contains thymine as we know that DNA contains A binds with T, G binds with C. So they have told that DNA possesses double stranded helix structure and contains thymine as one of the 4 bases. So option 3 is the right answer. RNA possesses a double stranded helix and contains uracil as one of the 4 bases. So that is also, it's a wrong statement. So DNA possesses double stranded helix as well as contains thymine as one of the 4 bases. Okay, next. Okay, thank you students, and next Dr. Garima Gupta will be explaining remaining biology questions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the introduction. I will be starting with question number 136 as per the version code 12. Let's see the question. What does it say? Insertion of a foreign DNA at BAM-H1 site is in an E. coli cloning vector PBR322 results in the loss of an antibiotic resistance towards. What is going to happen here? Insertional inactivation. Here the bacteria will not be able to grow in tetracycline, but it will be able to grow in ampicillin. So the answer here will be tetracycline. Let's see the next question. The 6th mutant codon of beta globin gene causing polymerization of hemoglobin and change in RBC shape is. Actually here the glutamic acid is replaced by a valine due to a single base pair change, which is GAG replaced to GUG. So here the answer is GUG, second one. The next question says, choose the correct statement regarding gift to overcome infertility. The full form of gift is what? Gamete intrafallopian transfer. That means here a gamete is transferred in the fallopian tube, and what is a gamete? Ova in case of females. So it has to be transferred in a fallopian tube. According to this, which option says this? It is the transfer of ovum into the fallopian tube. Here the word it is uterus, so it cannot be. It is not the embryo, so this option is also incorrect. And early embryos, that is also incorrect because it states embryos. The correct answer is second. Let's see the next question. Which one of the following is an appropriate example of sexual deceit? Here, female wasp and fig is an example of mutualism. Cuckoo and crow is an example of brood parasitism. This is orchid flower, and here the flower resembles the female. It resembles the female bee. So it is an example of a sexual deceit. The male bee is attracted towards this flower in the anticipation of a female bee. So the correct answer is third. Next question says, evolution of human appears parallel to the progressive development of brain and language skills. As such, the evolution of individual species in the sequence of their appearance is Dr. Ram, hen. So, Ram, first is Ramapithecus, hen Homo habilis, then E. erectus, hen Neanderthal, and Homo sapiens. The correct sequence is in the option second. So, here we will go with the option 2. Let's see the next question. Again, match the following. Match list 1 and list 2 related to embryonic development at various months of pregnancy. Here we see the fetus movement starts and hair appears on the head. When the fetus movement starts and the hair appears, the fetus develops limbs and digits at the end of the second month. 8 weeks, fetus develop external genitalia organs. 3 months, which is 3 months, 12 weeks. And the fetus body is covered with fine hair and eyelids separate and eyelashes are formed. 24 weeks. That is D with the first option. Every option is having D with the first. C is fourth. These two options are there. Then B with the third one. So, we will go with the fourth option. Next question says, a group of researchers procured some fish-like animal and upon investigation the following characters were observed. They are fish-like and the skeleton was found to be of cartilage, first thing. The second thing, ectoparasite, circular suctorial mouth. These all relate to cyclostoma class, and here they are not having paired fins and scales are absent. Cyclostomata have 5 to 16 pairs of gill slits. An example of cyclostomata are petro, myzon and hagfish. Only third we have as the option. Next question. Spermatogonia undergo a series of cell division to produce sperms. Select the correct statement from the following. Spermatogonia always under meiotic division? No, they undergo mitotic division. This statement is wrong. Option B. Primary spermatocytes divide mitotically to produce secondary spermatocyte. This option is also wrong because primary spermatocytes divide meiotically. So here option A, option B both are incorrect and they are asking us the correct statement. Let's see the option. Option A here is there, so this option cannot be the answer. Here option B is there, this cannot be the correct answer. And in here option number 4 also we have A as the correct statement, this can also not be the answer. Answer can be only C and E. That states that spermatids transform into spermatozoa by spermiogenesis and secondary spermatocytes through their second meiotic division produce haploid spermatids. Option 1 is the answer. Next question. What is the probability of having children with O blood group where both mother and father are heterozygous for A and B blood group respectively? They are heterozygous. Mother, that means AO, father BO, possibility of blood group AB, AO, BO and OO. So out of the 4 offsprings, one will be having the blood group O, that is 25%. Answer will be the 4th option. Next question. Arrange the following events occurring in renin-angiotensin mechanism in the correct order. First, when this mechanism is going to operate? When there is a fall in the GFR. This will be the first option. So here we see that option 1 and option 4 can only be the correct answers. Then let's see, this first option is saying that is after this increase in the blood pressure will happen. No, when there is a fall in the GFR, it is going to, what will happen, it is going to, renin is going to convert angiotensinogen into angiotensin 1 followed by angiotensin 2. That means after C, E should come, and here the only option which is correct is C, E. After that vasoconstriction will happen by angiotensinogen 2 to release aldosterone and reabsorption of sodium, and subsequently it will lead to increase in the blood pressure and glomerular filtration rate. Option 4 is the correct answer. Next question, again match the following. What is expiratory reserve volume? It is 1000 to 1100 ml. Reserve volume 1100 to 1200 ml. IRV inspiratory reserve volume 2500 to 3000 ml. Tidal volume is 500 ml. Let's see what can be the correct option. A with third, A with third, only 2 options. Then B with fourth, B with fourth. Option 3 is a correct answer. Next question. Again match the following. Match list 1 and list 2. Progestat is a hormone releasing IUD. Multirode 375 is copper releasing IUD. Diaphragm is barrier method of rubber used by females. Saheli is oral contraceptive. So A is 3. Only these 2 options stands here. B with 4 is both. Then let's check with the C1. C1, that means first can be the only option. Next question. Non-membrane bound cell organelles found in both prokaryote and eukaryotic cells. Both in prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. Centrosomes are not found in prokaryotes. Ribosome is found, they are without membrane both in prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell, and as we know these 2 are membrane bound organelles. So answer will be option number 2. Next question. Ecological pyramids represent the relationship between the organisms of different trophic levels, and they are generally inverted for. Inverted where one large will be there at the producer level and more number will be there at the higher trophic level. This will be there in the parasitic as well as in the aquatic. Here we can see pyramid of biomass in sea shall be the correct option. Option number 2. Question number 150. The flightless bird with forelimbs modified as pedal-like structures suited for swimming is known as. It is Apodontitis stuteus ostrich. We do not have pad-like structure. This is parrot and this is vulture. So the answer is 4th. Thank you. Now I would request Mr. Marvin sir to please come and solve the questions of physics.
Thank you, Garima ma'am. Hello students, good to meet you all again in this forum, online forum. I am going to discuss the next 15 questions for physics. Let us look at this question on meter bridge. There is a meter bridge setup that is mentioned here. The battery and the galvanometer has been interchanged. Now what do we observe if the battery and the galvanometer has been interchanged? This kind of question you would have seen very often in many standard books. Even though we interchange the battery and the galvanometer, which are in the diagonals of a meter bridge, we will not have any difference in terms of the balancing point. You will get a deflection on either side even if you interchange both of them. So we cannot have one sided deflection as it is mentioned here. It is going to have both side deflection, and also the balance point still remains the same even if the battery and the galvanometer has been interchanged. Let us go to the next one. We have to find the power. I think you all know the relation for power, students. Power will be product of force and velocity. Given that G has to be taken as 9.8, what is the mass given as 1000? We know F is mg and velocity will be distance divided by time. On substituting the required values, which is mass, acceleration due to gravity, distance and time, we are going to get the answer as 19.6 kilowatt. We will move to the next one. Here we need to look at the correct formula. If you see Young's modulus formula, it is stress by strain. Young's modulus can be written as force per unit area into strain reciprocal will become L by delta L, and that matches with this one. Same way if you look at the compressibility, compressibility and bulk modulus are reciprocals of each other, then you will get the correct option which is having reciprocal of bulk modulus, and that will be 3. Bulk modulus is again the reciprocal of this, which we will get it in terms of 4, which is change in pressure by the volumetric strain. Poisson's ratio we know is lateral strain divided by longitudinal strain. So what is the correct order? It is A2 and then it is B3 and then we have C4 and lastly we have D1. You can match it with the correct option. Let us move on to the next one. In a concave lens, what happens to the light emanating from it? We know that if you take a concave lens and a ray of light is incident parallel to the principal axis, the image will be formed behind the lens because it is a virtual image. So appears to diverge from the first principal focus will be the correct option because it appears to diverge from this point. Next one. We have a ring whose wire length is L and linear mass density is mentioned. What happens if you bend it, and what will be the moment of inertia about this axis? For a ring, moment of inertia is mr square. If you apply perpendicular axis theorem, then the moment of inertia about the diameter will become mr square divided by 2. Now, if you apply parallel axis theorem, the distance is r, so plus mr square. So, finally, we can say that the moment of inertia for this system will be 3 by 2 mr square. We know that the length of this entire ring is L. Can we write it in terms of radius? Absolutely. 2 pi r can be written as L, then r becomes L by 2 pi. On substituting this in the above relation, we will be getting 3 by 2 m L square divided by 4 pi square. But remember, this m is not the mass, it is to be written in terms of linear mass density. Therefore, we can replace this m in terms of small m, then option 1 will be right, because this becomes 3 small m L into L square will give you an L cube divided by 8 pi square, and that matches with option 1, right. Next one, we have a metallic body of mass 5.580 and 9 centimeter. If you look at the options carefully, you do not have to do the calculations here, it may eat up your time. You would have done that, but the answer can be done much easier by observing the number of significant figures. Whenever we take a ratio, we look at the least significant figure, which two options are possible, which is 2 and 4 are possible. But going by the options, we can say that the correct answer should have been 7.654 based on the calculations. You can also verify. If you round it off, then answer should be 7.7, which is correct up to 2 decimal, the least of the given two quantities. The least number of significant figures is 2, then answer also must be rounded off to 2 significant digits, then answer will be option 2. Now, let us come to the wave based question. Observe the 2 pi which is there outside the bracket. We know that in standard equation, any wave can be written in the form y is equal to a cos omega t minus kx plus some phase difference phi. From this idea, we can extract k to be 0.0080 into 2 pi, and if you want phase difference between the 2 points, it is k times path difference, right. Where k is known here, path difference I think in the question is mentioned as 0.5. So, it is 0.5 times 2 pi times 0.0080, then 0.5 into 2 is 1, then answer should be option 3, 0.008 pi radian. Next one, a prism based question. We know that when the ray of light is parallel to the base of the prism and the base is exactly horizontal, then it satisfies our minimum deviation condition. At minimum deviation, I can be written as a plus d by 2, and we also know that angle of incidence will be equal to angle of emergence, which is I. Let us substitute the values and get the answer. I is 50 degree. So, 50 is equal to a value is given as 60, angle of the prism 60 plus d by 2. If you simplify, 100 will be 60 plus d, then what is d value, students? It is 40 degree. Next question. We have a diode which is connected to this. I think we all recognize what is this circuit, students. It is a half wave rectifier. What happens in the case of a half wave rectifier is output is seen only for 1/2 cycle. They are asking output across the diode. That means it should be option 2, where for 1/2 cycle we get the output, for other half we do not. Do not worry about the diode being reversed, because they are asking potential across the diode. So, this still is 100% valid. Let us move to the next one. We have to find out what will be the variation of kinetic energy as a function of time. I am sure all of you know the relation, kinetic energy is half mv square. We can also write it as a function of time as half m, v becomes a square omega square cos square omega t. basically your kinetic energy will vary from half m a square omega square to 0, because the cos value can take values between 0 and 1. So, alternatively we should get 0 and 1, and that is possible in option 3. Let us move to the next one. Resistor is connected to a 12 volt battery. So, EMF is given as 12 volt, let us write the data. Internal resistance is given as 2 ohms, right students, and then current is given as 0.6. By now you must have recognized the formula connecting these variables in the chapter of current electricity. We have terminal potential as the EMF of the cell minus the current into its internal resistance. So, it is a very simple calculation. If you do it, EMF is given to you as 12 volt, current is given to us as 0.6, resistance is given to us as 2, which is 12 minus 1.2. 12 minus 1.2, my dear friends, is 10.8 volt, and that matches with option 2. Looks like many of you are getting correct answers. I can see a lot of smiles in your faces. Very happy to see the solutions, I believe. Let us move to the next one. So, let us see now the work done. This is based on the first year topic of gravitation. If you have an object on the surface of the earth and you raise it to a height, what will be the work done? By definition, we know work done is change in potential energy. Your final potential energy can be written as GMM divided by 2R, because all measurements are made from the center of the earth, whereas the initial potential energy is minus of minus GMM divided by R, which is on the surface of the earth. On simplifying, you will have got it as plus G capital M small m divided by 2R. Now, the options are in terms of small g. We can always write it by multiplying and dividing with R. Why? So that G m by R square can be written in terms of small g, that is it. So, answer is going to be m times small g capital R divided by 2, and that is there in option 4. Next one, students. Electric heater supplies heat to a system and the rate at which it supplies is 100 watt. So, we do not have heat, rather we have heat as a function of time or heat by time, which is power, and this is given to us as 100 watt. Next, the data is given as the work done by the system. In physics, we all know, students, work done by the system is positive, work done on the system is negative. It is work done by the system, and work done by time will also be in watt or joule per second, and that is 75 joule per second. Now, how do we relate heat, work done, internal energy? First law of thermodynamics, wonderful. First law of thermodynamics states this: if you do the calculations, you are going to get delta U as 100 minus 75. So, it should be 25 watt, option 3. Simple, right? Next one, room heater is given, there is a power supply to it 220 volt. What happens if the voltage drops? You must have done these kind of questions with bulbs, very similar logic, right? What always remains constant in the context of power is the resistance of the coil. We know resistance can be written in terms of power, where power will be V square by R, then resistance is going to be V square divided by P. Let us do it with ratio method, very simple. 220 square divided by the power is 400. On the same time, the voltage has changed to 200, 200 square divided by the power. If you do the calculation, students, you are going to get it as 220 square, 200 square, sorry, divided by 220 square, and then we are going to have this multiplied with 400. This is a simple ratio, na? Look at this, very easy. 20 is 10 times, this is 11 times. If you simplify, what do we get? Power as 10 square by 11 square, which is 100 into 400 divided by 121. You do a rough calculation, 12 3 times should be 36. So, it cannot be any other option except 331 watt. Let us move to the next one. We have a ruler which falls vertically. Basically, they all fall from the same height. 5 different people are working on it and they have different reaction times. Students, this is a free fall concept. What formula comes to your mind the moment you look at free fall? The free fall relation is 2h divided by g. What does it mean? the reaction time and the heights are going to be directly proportional. So, simple answer. Look at the order of the time given, reaction time 0.21 first. So, we will put it as 1, then we have 0.202, then we have 0.19 which is 3, then we have 0.22 which is 4, I think I have changed the order. 0.22 comes first now, which is B, then comes 0.21, then comes 0.20 and then comes 0.19 and then comes this. So, the order should be B, E, A. I think there is only one option that matches with this, and then comes D and then comes C. So, it should be option 4. That is it from my end, students. I now request Karthik Raman sir to help you with the next questions for biology.
Hello everyone, I am here to steer this discussion with the next set of biology questions. So, let us look into it without much further delay. So, the next question is a match the following question from the chapter Microbes in Human Welfare. So, streptokinase is known as the clot busting enzyme. So, A is going to 2. So, we have 2 options. Then statins are blood cholesterol lowering agents where B is going to 3. Lipases is going to 4, detergent formulation. So, with this we can say that option number 1 is going to be the correct answer for this question. The next question comes from the chapter Cell. So, here they are talking about the various statements. So, the first one, endomembrane system includes Golgi complex, endoplasmic reticulum and mitochondria, becomes an incorrect statement because it includes Golgi, endoplasmic reticulum and then vacuole and lysosome. So, therefore, A is the incorrect statement and they want the correct statement. So, please eliminate options 2 and 3. Rough endoplasmic reticulum bears ribosomes on its surface. So, option B is there. So, directly we come to the answer as option 4. So, question number 152, option 4 is going to be the right answer. Now, here is a question from the chapter Animal Kingdom. So, they have given a set of fish in every option and they are asking us to select the set of fish which belongs to class of osteichthyes or bony fish. So, here cuttlefish is not a fish, starfish is also not a fish. Then we know that dogfish is Scoliodon and sawfish is Pristis. So, both of these belong to cartilaginous fish. So, therefore, we are left with option number 3, that is going to be the right answer for this question. Next, now this is a question from the chapter Principles of Inheritance and Variation. So, as soon as you read the question, the grasshopper species has an X0 XX determination system where X0 is male and XX is going to be female. So, here you need to understand that the males will have 1 chromosome less when compared to the female. So, therefore, if the system has 24 chromosomes, 23 chromosomes will be in male and 24 chromosomes will be in female. So, therefore, option number 4 is going to be the right answer for this question. Next, now this is a question from body fluids and circulation. So, please note the WBC count of a person's blood sample is 8,000 per cubic millimeter. So, number of WBCs is 8,000. Then they want you to tell the number of eosinophils and the number of lymphocytes. So, we know that eosinophils account for about 2 to 3% of the total WBCs and the lymphocytes account for 20 to 25% of the total WBCs. So, with this number here we are going to get somewhere between 160 to 240 and this would be somewhere about 1600 to 2000. So please have a look at the first option, which exactly mentions the same values. Therefore, option number 1 is going to be the right answer for this question. Now, this is a question coming from the biotechnology chapter. The toxin protein isolated from Bacillus thuringiensis, coded by which of the following genes would control cotton bollworms and corn borer? This is a direct memory recall question, and the answer is option 3, Cry1AC and Cry1AB. Next, this is a question from Human Health and Diseases. So here we understand that cocaine has a sense of euphoria and increased energy. Morphine acts as an effective sedative and a painkiller. So B going to 3 and D going to 1. So we have only option 2 as this combination. So therefore, answer is option number 2. Next, question number 158. This is another match the following question from the chapter Locomotion and Movement, talking about the diseases and their causes or their symptoms. Tetany, A is going to 3. So therefore, eliminate options 2 and 3. Arthritis is the inflammation of the joints. So B going to 1. So directly we have the answer, that is option number 1. Next, question number 159. In which animal do haploid cells divide mitotically to produce gametes? So here a haploid organism can only divide by mitosis to produce gametes, and in the honeybees it's a haplodiploidy sex determination system where male honeybees are haploid, they form gametes by mitosis, and the female honeybees are diploid and they form gametes by meiosis. So therefore, for this question, option number 1 is going to be the correct answer. Next, this is a sequence based question from the chapter Breathing and Exchange of Gases. So they are telling you that in humans respiration occurs in the following steps, arrange them in the correct order. So just take a break and just try to breathe in and breathe out. So they are asking you what all happens when you breathe in and breathe out. So the first step has to be breathing in. So therefore, C is going to be the first step. Then the second step would be the diffusion of oxygen and carbon dioxide across the alveolar membrane. So with these two, let us look at spotting the answer. So therefore, with C and B occupying the first two spaces in the order, option number 4 is going to be the correct answer for this question. Next, question number 161. This is the layers of the female gamete. So the first option, the first outermost layer has to be corona radiata. Then the second one is going to be the perivitaline. The second one is going to be the zona pellucida. So with this, we are going to have option 2 as the correct answer. And then the third one is the perivitaline space, and the fourth one is a plasma membrane of the ovum. So therefore, for question 161, option 2 is going to be the right answer. Next, question number 162. This is coming from the chapter Biotechnology. So there is a protein called alpha-1 antitrypsin. It's obtained from transgenic animals and is used for the cure of the respiratory disease or the disorder, that is emphysema. It's a direct memory recall question. Question 163, it is from the chapter Cell. So they want us to select the correct statements from the given lot. Statement A, membrane of human RBCs has approximately 52% protein. This is right. So we can remove options 2 and option 3. Statement B, major phospholipids are arranged in a bilayer. So therefore, statement B is also right. Therefore, you will have option 4 as the correct answer. So here we can see, just for the sake of checking, extension of plasma membrane of cell is called mesosomes, true, but they don't exist in a eukaryotic cell. And then the tail towards the inner part of the lipids are hydrophobic and protected, this is true. Glycocalyx is present on the outer surface of plasma membrane. This is only true in prokaryotic cells, but the question clearly mentions about the eukaryotic cell. So therefore, only statements A, B and D are going to be the correct statements. Question 164. This is a question from structural organization chapter. Male frogs can be distinguished from female frogs due to the presence of, so male frog distinction from the female frog is the question. So it is the presence of the vocal sacs for the mating call and the copulatory pad on the first digit of the forelimb. So therefore, statements A and D are statements B and D are true. Therefore, option number 1 is going to be the correct answer. Next, question number 165. Which of the following equation depicts the Verhulst pearl logistic population growth? This is a direct memory based question. Answer is option number 1. So these were the questions allocated to me. Thank you for your patient hearing. And now I would like to call upon Anil Kumar sir to steer the discussion further. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, I am here to discuss the next remaining questions in chemistry. Let us discuss the remaining questions and see here. This is a question they have given that is identify the correct statements. So what are the correct statements in this one we need to identify. The first one they have given the molality of 2.5 gram of ethanoic acid. Molar mass they have given 60 gram per mole in 75 gram of benzene is 0.556. So here you know the formula that is molality is equals to, okay, molality is equals to, what is the formula? Weight by, that is molecular weight, divided by mass of solvent in kg. They have given 75 grams. So we have to convert into, that is kilograms, 75 by 1000. Okay. So thereby what we are going to get here. So here if you are taking that one, let us take, okay. So here weight is equals to, that is 2.5 divided by, that is molecular weight is 60 into 1000 by 75. So if you calculate you will get that is the answer is 0.556. So option A is correct. Next option B, they have given molality of solution that is containing 5 gram of NaOH in 450 ml they have given. So if you take the molality formula, molality is equals to weight, how much they have given? 5 grams. 5 divided by NaOH molecular weight is 40 into, that is 1000, and given volume is how much they have given, that is 450 ml they have given. So if you calculate this one, so what you are going to get? You are going to get that is 0.278. So option B is also correct. Next, aquatic species are more comfortable in cold water. It is a directly true statement, students. It is directly, that is correct actually. Aquatic species are more comfortable in the cold water. Okay, and here they have given that is option D, the solubility of gas increases with decrease in pressure. This is false statement actually. Okay, so this is false. And for a binary mixture of A and B, the number of moles of A and B are Na and Nb respectively. The mole fraction of B will be Nb divided by Na plus Nb, but what they have given in the numerator they have given Na. So this is also a wrong statement. So D and E is wrong. Only the correct options are A, B and C. So here the correct option is option number 2. Now let us discuss the next question. So this is direct question, student, directly they are given from NCERT, that is mixture of chloroform and acetone forms a solution with negative deviation. Yes, it is true from Raoult's law. Why it will form negative deviation? Because due to, that is the hydrogen bonding between the hydrogen of chloroform and that is oxygen of the acetone. Okay. So here you will be getting, that is C double bond O, this is acetone will form, the oxygen of acetone will form the hydrogen bond with the hydrogen of the chloroform like this. Okay. So here the right, this is option 1 is correct. Option 1 is correct. Now let us discuss the next question. So this is the next question they have given. At 298 Kelvin, a certain buffer solution contains equal concentration of X minus and Hx, and they have given dissociation constant also they have given, that is for X minus, that is 10 power minus 10, that is what is the pH of this buffer solution. Before calculating pH, first we need to calculate the pOH. So the formula for pOH is equals to that is pKb, okay, plus pKb plus okay, log concentration of X minus divided by Hx. They have given the concentration of X and Hx will be equal. The concentration of X minus and Hx are same. That means these two will get cancelled. When these two are going to get cancelled, what you are going to get? pOH is equals to pKb. What you are going to get? pOH is equals to pKb plus log 1. Okay, log 1 value will be 0. So what you are going to get? pOH is equals to pKb. They have given Kb value, students. Kb value is how much they have given? Kb is equals to 10 power minus 10. Kb is equals to 10 power minus 10. Then pKb is equals to minus log Kb. Minus log Kb. Okay. So what you are going to get? Minus log, that is 10 power minus 10. So what you are going to get? So here you are going to get finally 10. Okay, you are going to get the 10. So here now pOH value is how much, students? 10. pOH is equals to 10 here. But we have to find what? pH we have to find. What is the formula? That is pH plus pOH is equals to 14. pH plus pOH is equals to 14. So pH plus 10 is equals to 14 and pH is equals to 4. So the correct answer is option 3, it is 4. Now let us discuss the next question. So here they have given, identify the incorrect statement from the following. The IUPAC name of the element with atomic number 107 is anil septium. This is true statement. Okay, this is true. Next, the largest and the smallest species among magnesium and magnesium plus 2, aluminum and aluminum plus 3 are Al and Mg plus 2 they have given. What is they have given? Largest and smallest species. So in this, the smallest species, if you compare Mg plus 2 and Al plus 2, Mg plus 2 and Al plus 3, so which is the smallest species? Al plus 3 is the smallest species, okay, because it is having the more charge, okay. So when it is having more charge, it is the smallest species. But what they have given here, Mg plus 2 is the smallest. So this is a false statement. So they are asking the incorrect statement. So this is incorrect statement. So option 2 is the incorrect, okay. Now let us discuss the next one. Here the correct order of increasing metallic character of sodium, beryllium, phosphorus, magnesium and silicon they have given. So among these 5 elements, the strongest metal is, that is sodium. Strongest metallic character is present is sodium, okay. So we have to take the option as sodium. So strike off this option. Next, after sodium, next what we have? Magnesium we have, okay. After magnesium, next we have beryllium. Next, after that silicon, next it is phosphorus. Now the increasing order they have given. So the increasing order if you are taking, so phosphorus is the least metallic in nature. Next compared to silicon, next compared to silicon, like beryllium is more metallic, and compared to beryllium, magnesium is more metallic in nature, and compared to magnesium, that is sodium is more metallic in nature. So the correct option is option 1 is the correct option, okay. Now let us discuss the next one. So here they have given a compound, we need to find out the IUPAC name of this compound. So for finding out the IUPAC name, first we need to give the numbering. So select the longest hydrocarbon chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. At third carbon we have a substituent called ethyl. At third carbon we have a substituent ethyl is there, and at fifth carbon we have methyl is there. Okay, so the correct IUPAC name is 3-ethyl 5-methyl and it is 7 carbon chain. So it is 3-ethyl 5-methyl heptane. Option 3 is correct. Okay, 3-ethyl 5-methyl heptane. Now let us discuss the next question. So here they have given the match the following. So we need, in the list 1 they have given the complexes, and in list 2 they have given the geometry. We need to match which complex is having the which geometry. The first complex is platinum complex with coordination number 4. Okay. So, platinum complex with coordination number 4 means it will be having the tetrahedral as well as the square planar, but platinum always it will form the square planar. Okay. That means A is matching with the 3, A is matching with the 3, and for second complex we have that is 6 ligands are there. 6 ligands means it is octahedral. Okay, it is octahedral. So, B is matching with the 1, B is matching with the 1. Next, the third complex is nickel tetrachloride. It is a tetrahedral geometry, that is C is matching with 4. And the fifth, that is fourth one, it is iron pentacarbonyl. It is having the, that is trigonal bipyramidal geometry. Iron pentacarbonyl is having the trigonal bipyramidal geometry like this. Okay. And here you can see the trigonal bipyramidal geometry. So, that is D is matching with the that is option 2. So, 3 1 4 2, 3 1 4 2. So, the correct option is fourth option. Now, let us discuss the next question. So, this is a question based on the chemical kinetics. So, there is a graph is given, the graph is plotted between the reactant as well as the time, and you can see the slope is having the negative slope. So, this is directly it is a zero order reaction, because you see that is concentration is present on the y axis and time is present on the x axis, and slope is minus k. It is directly a zero order reaction. So, the correct option is option 1. Now, let us discuss the next question. So, here one of the following is an ambidentate ligand. Ambidentate ligand means what? It can bind with 2 donor sites. So, here they have given EDTA. EDTA is hexadentate ligand. Oxalate, it is a bidentate ligand. Ethane 1,2 dimer, it is a bidentate ligand. Thiocyanate, SCN minus, it can bind the metal atom via through, that is sulfur, as well as it can bind via through the nitrogen. So, it is an ambidentate ligand because it is having the 2 donor sites. Either it can bind either with sulfur or with nitrogen. Now, let us go with the next question. So, here they have given the problem based on this one. So, here consider the following reaction. So, here A and B are reactants, both are reacting, you are going to get the D. Okay. So, here we have to find out the, that is delta G formula, delta G we need to find out, delta G calculate we need to take. So, delta G is equals to, what is the formula? Delta G is equals to delta H minus T delta S, delta G is equals to delta H minus T delta S. Okay. Now, we need to find out the delta H, because delta H value they did not given, they have given only delta U value only they have given. What is the formula of delta H? Delta H is equals to delta U plus delta Ng RT. Okay. Delta U is how much? Minus 10. Delta U is minus 10 plus delta Ng. How will you calculate delta Ng? Delta Ng is equals to number of products 2 minus, that is 2 plus 1. How much you are going to get? Minus 1. Okay. Minus 1. R is how much they have given? 8.31 joules. But here the answer is given in kilojoules. So, we need to convert this joules to kilojoules. Okay. So, here that is 8.31 into 10 power minus 3, and temperature is how much? 298 they have given. Okay. So, if you take all this, the value will be how much? The value we are going to get is minus 12.477 you are going to get. So, this is the value of the delta H. Okay. And this delta H value we need to substitute in the above equation. When you are substituting in the above equation, what you are going to get? Delta G is equals to minus 12.477 minus T. T is how much? It is 298, and delta S is given as minus 44 joules, but the answer is given in kilojoules. So, we need to convert this joules to kilojoules. Okay. So, here what you are going to get, that is minus 44 into 10 power minus 3. So, here you are going to get minus 12.477, and here you are going to get 13 point that is 116 something you are going to get. So, if you take, the option will be second option you are going to get. Okay. That is 0.63568 you are going to get. Now, let us discuss the, that is next one. So, next question, it is a well known, that is molecule, that is ozone molecule. So, we have to find out the formal charges. Okay. Formal charges for, that is number oxygen number 2, oxygen number 1 and oxygen number 3. So, if you are taking the formal charge for oxygen number 2, how much you are going to get? So, how to calculate the formal charge? So formal charge can be calculated by taking the valence electrons. How many valence electrons oxygen is having? 6. And how many non-bonded electrons we have? 4. Okay, minus half into how many, that is bonded electrons we have? 4 we have. So 6 minus 4 minus 2. So 6 minus 6, it will be 0. So for that is oxygen number 2, the formal charge is 0. Okay. Next we need to calculate the formal charge on oxygen number 1. So how will you calculate the formal charge on oxygen number 1? So you can calculate by taking 6, that is valence electrons, and how many non-bonded electrons we have? 2 we have. 2 minus half into how many bonded electrons we have? 6 bonded electrons we have. Now you calculate 6 minus 2 minus 3. Okay. So what you are going to get, that is 6 minus 5, that is equals to plus 1. So it is plus 1 for this one. And for the last one, how much you are going to get the formal charge, that is 6 minus half into 2. So what you are going to get? Minus 1. So it is minus 1. So 0, 1, that is minus 1. So 0, 1, minus 1. So option 2 is correct. Now let us discuss the next question. So this is a direct question, students. So here we need to find, that is for which of the following reaction Kp is not equals to Kc. Kp is not equals to Kc, we have to find. Now you can take the option. So here first let us find out the delta n for the first one. So in this case the delta n is equals to 0. Delta n is equals to 0 means here Kp is equals to Kc for this one. And the second one also delta n is equals to 0. Delta n is equals to 0 means Kp is equals to Kc. And for third one, delta n value is how much? Delta n is equals to 2 minus, and how many reactants we have? That is 1 mole of nitrogen and 3 mole of H2. So how much you are going to get? 1 plus 3. Okay. So you are going to get 2 minus 4. 2 minus 4, that is how much you are going to get? Minus 2. So in this case delta n is not equals to 0. So in this case Kp is not equals to Kc. Kp is not equals to Kc. So option 3 is correct. Now let us discuss the next question. So this is based upon the chemical kinetics. So this is based on the Arrhenius equation. We can compare directly this with the Arrhenius equation. So here what is the given here? ln K is equals to 14.34 minus 1.25 into 10 power 4 divided by T. Arrhenius equation, you know, K is equals to A into e power minus Ea by RT. Okay. Now you take that is natural log on both sides. Ln K is equals to ln A minus Ea by RT. So you take this as equation number 1, you take this as equation number 2. Now if you compare these two, what you are going to get? Minus Ea by RT is equals to, that is minus 1.25 into 10 power 4 divided by T. T and T will get cancelled, minus minus will going to get cancelled. Now you cross multiply R with this one, what you are going to get when you are cross multiplying? Ea is equals to 1.25 into R value they have given here. R is 1.98, you can take it as 2. Okay, it is given in calories, but we have to find in kilocalories. So we have to convert calories to kilocalories. So here 2 into 2 calories, if you convert into kilocalories, 2 into 10 power minus 3, and 10 power 4 already is present. So if you take all this, so finally what you are going to get? So 2.5 into 10 you are going to get, which is nothing but 25. 2.5 into 10, which is nothing but 25. So it is option 4, that is 24.8. We can take approximately it as 25. Next one. Next, this is the that is organic they have given based on the Hoffman bromide degradation reaction. So they have given the two reactions. Okay, one is ethyl chloride upon reacts with the reagent X, you are going to get the compound Z. In another, this Hoffman bromide degradation reaction, because you see the conditions, bromine in the presence of NaOH is Hoffman bromide degradation reaction, and followed by the chloroform in the presence of ethanolic KOH. Okay, so this is carbylamine reaction. So first let us discuss the, that is first equation. So when you are taking this amide upon reacts with the bromine in the presence of NaOH, what you are going to get? You are going to get the amide will convert into amine. These amine upon treatment with chloroform, this amine upon treatment with the chloroform, the presence of ethanolic KOH, the presence of ethanolic KOH, you are going to get isocyanide, ethyl isocyanide you are going to get. This ethyl isocyanide is having the foul smell, okay. And here in the first equation, C2H5Cl upon treatment with X you are going to get Z. Here also we are getting Z, here also you are going to get Z. So here Z is what? Ethyl isocyanide, here also ethyl isocyanide we got. So and what is the X here? The X will be AgCN. AgCN is an covalent compound. When AgCN is reacting with the C2H5Cl, when AgCN is reacting with the C2H5Cl, you are going to get the isocyanide C2H5NC. Okay. So both in the first equation and second equation we are going to get the same compound, that is ethyl isocyanide, which is having the foul smell. So here the option is 4. Okay, option is 4. Let us discuss the next question. Now here they have given the match the following here they have given. So here they have given the complexes and they have given which type of isomerism it is going to show. The first one they have given is platinum complex and it is coordination number 4. So this complex will form cis and trans isomerism. Cis and trans will comes under what? Geometrical isomerism. That means A is matching with 3. A is matching with 3. Next they have given the, that is one complex, cobalt complex with ethane 1 comma 2 diamine. So this will form, this cis isomer of this form is optical active. That means it will show optical isomerism. So B is matching with the 1. B is matching with the 1. Next they have given the complex, cobalt complex with 2 different ligands. One is NH3, other is NO2. This NO2 is having the linkage isomer because it can bind with nitrogen as well as it can bind with the oxygen. Okay. That means C is matching with the 4. C is matching with the 4. Next last D is matching with the 2 because we have the aqua ligands. These aqua ligands will show the solvate isomerism. So D is matching with the 2. Okay. So here 3, 1, 4, 2. 3, 1, 4, 2. So this is option 3. 3, 1, 4, 2. Okay. Next. Now I will request Munish sir to continue the, that is remaining questions for the biology.
Well, thank you, sir, for the introduction. Now, let me take you through the following questions. So, choose the correct statement regarding frog's anatomy. Hepatic portal system is the special venous connection between liver and intestine. This is true. There are 12 pairs of cranial nerves arising from the brain. No, there are actually 10 in case of frog. So, this is a false statement. The ureters and oviducts open separately into the cloaca in female frogs. Yes, it is true. Hindbrain consists of cerebellum, medulla oblongata and optic lobes. This is correct, but optic lobes are actually a part of midbrain. So this statement automatically gets what? It gets incorrect. Sinus venosus joins the right atrium of heart. It is again true statement. So A, C and E. So second option is the correct. Okay, next is body fluids in circulation. Select the incorrect statements with reference to RH grouping. Erythroblastosis fetalis is a condition observed having fetus with RH negative blood and mother with RH positive blood. No, actually the fetus should be positive and mother should be negative. So this statement is correct. Sorry, this is wrong. RH antigen is observed on RBCs in the majority of human beings. That is true. Before blood transfusion, RH group should also be matched. True, it has to be matched. RH incompatibility is observed when a pregnant mother is RH negative. True. And the fetus is RH positive. True. Erythroblastosis fetalis can be avoided by administering anti-RH antibodies to the mother immediately after the delivery of the second child. But no, the word should be written here as first child. So this statement is incorrect and we have to choose what? Incorrect statements. So my answer will be A and E only. Moving on to next. Which of the following statements are correct with reference to human endoskeleton? Now the word is human endoskeleton, that means this particular question is from movement and locomotion and human skeletal system part. First statement, human skull is monocondylic. No, actually it is, the correct word is what? Dicondylic. So this statement is wrong. The joint between any two adjoining vertebrae is a cartilaginous joint. True. In human beings, the number of cervical vertebrae is 7. That is also true. All ribs except the last two pairs are bicephalic. The occipital bone of skull is articulated with atlas. So this is also true. But all ribs except the last two, no, all ribs are bicephalic. So the statement is wrong. So my answer will be, this is A and, wait, human skull is dicondylic, all ribs except the last two pairs are bicephalic. So the answer should be A. I'll just skip this question for a while. Which of the following statements are, wait, cortisol, so it produces anti-inflammatory, that is 2. Aldosterone, it is 3rd. Cholecystokinin is 4th. And progesterone is 1. So 2, 3, 4, 1. The following are the stages of life cycle of Plasmodium, arrange the stages in the proper order. So we all know female mosquito injects sporozoites into the humans during the bite. So E has to be there. So these options, E. Sporozoites reach the liver through the blood. True. So this is the second step. So D. Moving on to the parasites will reproduce asexually in liver cells, bursting cells and releasing into the blood. It will be B. So this will be the option. Select the incorrect statements from the following. Digestive system in platyhelminthes is incomplete. True. Bilateral symmetry is a characteristic feature of adult. No, it is a feature of radial symmetry is a feature. So this statement is incorrect. Pseudocelome is possessed by Aschelminthes. True. Notochord is persistent throughout life. True. Members of class Reptilia maintain a constant body temperature. No, it is not true. So my answer is B and E, that is first. The specific receptors for neurotransmitters in the synapse are present on postsynaptic membrane. Direct question. Choose the correct statement regarding muscle contraction. A motor neuron carries a signal sent by the central nervous system to the sarcolemma of the muscle fiber. True. The neural signal generates an action potential which causes the release of calcium ions into the sarcoplasm. True. Increase in calcium ions inactivates the actin for breaking cross bridges. No, it is a false statement. It not inactivates, it actually activates. Actin binds to the myosin head to form a cross bridge. True. Shortening of sarcomere will take place by pulling actin filaments towards the center of event. Again true. So our answer will be first option, that is A, B, D and E only. Which of the following is not an example of convergent evolution? Eyes of octopus and mammals, no. Forelimbs of whales and bats, so very second option, not moving to the, because these are eliminated. The juxtaglomerular apparatus is a special sensitive region formed by cellular modifications in dash related to the samnephron. DCT and efferent, no. Proximal convoluted, no. DCT, that is distal convoluted tubule, and afferent renal arteriole, that is true. So third option is my correct answer. The following reaction depicts the activity of a particular class of enzymes. So this question is from biomolecules, classification of enzymes, and the option is ligases. No, the option is liases. Match the list 1 with the list 2. So this is our mollusks. Mollusks do what? Mollusks do, that is branchial respiration. Reptiles. So if it is reptiles, they do what? Pulmonary respiration. 2-1. Adult amphibians, both pulmonary and cutaneous, that is fourth. and then we have amoeba, it is a single cell, so cellular respiration, that is 3. So what will be, I will be writing 2143, 2143. So second. What is the reason behind production of large holes in Swiss cheese? That is Propionibacterium shermani. So large holes are there in the Swiss cheese, and the chapter is microbes in human welfare. Very clear. You just have to remember the big name of this bacteria, that is Propionibacterium shermani. Okay, match the list 1 with the list 2 with respect to chronology of evolution of life forms. That is about 65 million years ago. So dinosaurs suddenly disappeared from the earth, that is second. About 500 million years ago, invertebrates were formed and became active. So fourth. About 350 million years ago, jawless fish probably evolved. And about 320 million years ago, seaweed and few plants probably existed. So 3. So what will be the option? 2, 4, 1, 3, that is this one. Yes, 2, 4, 1 and 3. Now next is choose the correct statement regarding population interactions between the two species. In both parasitism and commensalism, only one species will benefit and the other species is harmed. No, this is a false statement, because in parasitism the other species is harmed, but in commensalism neither get harmed, neither get. So both species benefits in mutualism. Yes, it is a true statement. Both species benefit. No, it is a wrong statement. In parasitism only one species benefits, other species is harmed. That is true. In commensalism, one species is harmed and the other is unaffected. So this is also true. So this B, D and E are correct. Next is our Kishan Kumar sir. He will be taking through you to the next physics questions.
Thank you, sir, for introducing me. Let's start with the first question without wasting any time. Consider two uncharged capacitors of equal capacitance, 200 picofarad. One of them is charged by a 100 volt supply and disconnected. Now this capacitor is connected to the uncharged capacitor. The amount of electrostatic energy lost in the process is: first, a capacitor is charged with a voltage V, right? So the charge that will reside on this capacitor will be C into V, right? Now this is connected with the other similar capacitor. So the same charge will distribute it equally on both the capacitors, right? And when we calculate the charge lost, that will comes out to be half Q, that will be half Q square by C minus of 2 times of Q by 2 square upon 2C, right? That will comes out to be 1 by 4 times of Q square upon C. And when you calculate this, you'll get option 2 is an answer, right? Now let's move to next question. Savita, a 11th standard student, while conducting an experiment to determine the effective length of a simple pendulum L, notes down the data of time taken to complete 30 oscillations as 60 seconds, and hence calculates the length of simple pendulum as pi. These are the data given, right? So we have to calculate the length of the pendulum. So for 30 oscillations, it will take it takes 60 seconds. That means for 30 oscillations, 60 seconds is there, right? So for single oscillation, it will take 2 seconds. That is the time is equals to 2 seconds, and we know the formula for time, right? That is 2 pi root under L upon G. From here we can calculate L, and that comes out to be 1, right? So next question. The peak value of alternating current is 5 and frequency is 60 Hz, right? How long will the current starting from 0 take to reach the peak value, right? Frequency is given, we can easily calculate the time period which is equal to 1 upon f. That will give you 1 upon 60, right? And to reach the peak of its value, it will take just 1/4 of the time, right? So T by 4, that will give you 1 upon 240, right? So your answer should be 1. Next question, an interference and diffraction. The light energy is redistributed. Reduces in one region, producing a dark fringe. It increases in another region, producing a bright fringe. Which option is correct? We have to choose. As there is no gain or loss of energy. These phenomena are consistent with the principle of conservation of energy. This one is true, right? Diffraction and interference are characteristics exhibited only by light wave. This one is wrong, right? So first should be the correct option. Next question, a box of mass 15 kg is kept on a floor of a stationary trolley. The coefficient of static friction between box and trolley is 1.2. Mu is given as 1.2, 0.12, sorry, right? Keeping the box in stationary state over the trolley, the maximum acceleration with which the trolley can be moved horizontally is. So the question is, a box is there of mass 15 kg. The maximum acceleration with which we can move the block is, the maximum acceleration we can calculate when we equate the pseudo force with the frictional force, right? So frictional force, the static frictional force is mu mg here, and the pseudo force will be m times of a. M will get cancelled out, a will be mu times of g. That will give you 0.12 multiplied with 10. It will give you 1.2 as an answer, right? So next question, the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy of a simple pendulum bob is 0.02 joule. The simple pendulum bob at equilibrium position approximately. So here there is a printing mistake, it's okay. We have to calculate the velocity when the pendulum is at equilibrium position, right? Equilibrium means mean position, when pendulum is at its mean position here. So the velocity here will be maximum, and the total energy will be converted into kinetic energy, right? So we can equate half mv square with the given energy, that is 0.02, right? 0.02. That, and from here if we calculate velocity v, that comes out to be root of 2. That means 1.41 meter per second. Let's move to next question. 4 statements are given. A is a mass number, right? The volume of nucleus is proportional to a to the power 1 by 3. Listen, we know that radius is directly proportional to a to the power 1 by 3, and volume will be directly proportional to r cube, and that will be proportional to a, right? So according to this, the volume of nucleus is proportional to this, to a to the power 1 by 3. That is wrong. The volume of nucleus is proportional to a. This is correct. The difference in mass of an atom and its nucleus is called as the mass difference. It's not the difference in mass of atom. It's a difference of mass in of nucleus, right? So this one is correct. This is also incorrect. So option B and D are correct and A and C are false. So first one should be the answer. Let's move to next question. The angular speed of a flywheel is increased from 600 rpm to 1200 rpm, right, in 10 seconds. If we want to convert it in radian per second, then what we have to do, we have to just multiply it with 2 pi by 60, right? 2 pi by 60. So the number of revolutions completed by the flywheel during this time. So what we have to do, we can simply apply omega final equals omega initial plus alpha into t, right? So from here we will get alpha, right? That is 1200 into 2 pi by 60 should equals to 600 into 2 pi by 60 plus alpha times of 10, right? From here you will get 20, that is 40 minus 20 time 20 pi is equals alpha into 10, that means alpha will be 2 pi, right? Alpha will be 2 pi, and we have to calculate the number of revolution completed. So for revolution we have to calculate theta. So theta will be omega I times of t plus alpha into t square by 2, right? And when you calculate theta, it will comes out to be 300 of pi, right? So to calculate number of revolutions, we just have to divide this with 2 pi. So the answer will be 300 by 2 pi, that is 150 revolutions, right? Next question. A submarine is designed to withstand an absolute pressure of 100 atm. How deep can it go below the water surface? Okay, so it can withstand a pressure of 100 atm. That means and if we convert 100 atm into Pascal, the conversion is also given here, right? So we just have to multiply 100 with 10 to the power 5, right? That should be equals to rho gh if we want to calculate height, and from here you will get height is equals to 1000 meters. So submarine can easily withstand the height which is less than 1000 meter or equals to 1000 meter, right? So the answer should be this, right? So how deep it can go? It can go deep till this point, right? Let's move to next question. Match list 1 with list 2. So it's a theoretical question. Its answer is option number 4. Which of the following statement are correct? Inside a conductor, the electrostatic field is 0. This one is correct, right? Electric field at the surface of charged conductor does not depend on its surface. It do depends on surface which is surface charge, because electric field will be epsilon sigma upon 2 epsilon naught, right? So this one is correct. Incorrect, sorry. The interior of charged conductor can have no excess charge in static situation. No excess charge in static situation. This is correct, because this is incorrect, sorry, because the excess charge will flow to the surface, right, when it's a conductor. So next option is at the surface of charged conductor, the electrostatic field must be normal to the surface at every point. So this one is correct. Next, the electrostatic potential is 0 everywhere inside a charged conductor. It's not 0, it's constant, right? It's constant. So this is again incorrect. So option A, D is correct, and C, no excess charge is no excess charge. So sorry, a mistake is there. No excess charge in static situation. So this one is correct, right? Because in conductor, the charge is spread out in the outer surface, right? There is no charge in inner surface. So this option is also correct. Option C is correct. So A, C and D should be the answer. A, C and D. So option 3 should be the answer. Let's move to next question. For a metal work function 6.6 electron volt is given. Which of the following wavelength of incident radiation does not give rise to photoelectric effect, right? So we have given 6.6 electron volt of work function, right? From here we can calculate the lambda, the maximum lambda to which we for ejecting the electron from the metal surface, right? So when we calculate lambda, it comes nearly equal to 200, right? So for this lambda, there will be no electron ejected, right? So first one will be the answer. So next question. In the first excited state of hydrogen atom, the energy of its electron is minus 3.4 electron volt. The radial distance of electron from the hydrogen nucleus in this case is approximately. So from the given energy we can easily calculate the state or n value, right, where the electron is present. So we know that the energy at nth orbital is z square upon n, right? For hydrogen z is 1, and if we just equate this with 3.4, we will get n is equals to 2, right? N equals to 2, and but we have to calculate the radius, the distance of electron from the hydrogen nucleus. So the distance, the radius will be n square h square upon 4 pi square m times of e square, right. When you put n equals to 2 in the given formula, you will get r is equals to this one, right, 2.1 into 10 to the power minus 10, right. Let's move to next question. Two statements are given below. When the forward bias voltage across a PN junction diode increases above a certain threshold voltage, the diode current increases significantly. This one is correct, right. This current called reverse saturation current. No, this current is not reverse saturation current. It's a forward current, right. So option A is correct, option B is wrong. So option 2 should be the answer. Let's move to next question. A flask contain argon and chlorine in the ratio of 2:1 by mass. The temperature of the mixture is 27 degrees Celsius. Okay, the ratio of root mean square speed of the molecules of two gases. So we know that root mean square value is inversely proportional to root under molecular weight, right. So root mean square value of argon upon root mean square value of chlorine, that will be equal to molecular weight of chlorine divided by molecular weight of argon, right. That will be equal to root under of 70 upon 40. That means root under 7 upon 2. So first one will be the answer. So thank you guys. Do like, share and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed this session, and wishing you a great life ahead. Thank you.